Look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back for another exciting episode of After Hours. We are live here in the studios with our entire whack pack: John Romano, Johnny Bravo, Greg Valentino. Of course, Jimmy the Bull's not here. Armand Adibi and Richard Rodriguez. And guys, before we get into the meat of this show, I got to tell you, what the freak is going on? First of all, we can't curse anymore. Because did you not hear that YouTube banned all cursing if you want to monetize your videos?
No.
Really?
Yesterday, Johnny Bravo told me that.
Yeah,
right?
if you have any,
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, listen. If you curse,
hold on, Johnny. Say what you were going to say.
if you curse too much, okay, the algorithm looks at basically. You know how it works. When you put up a video, the AI takes all the words you say and puts it in a text format. Then their system, basically, it's like a script. It looks at how many curses you say in a period of time. Depending on how many is whether or not they're going to say, you know what, your video is not going to get any ad revenue, and it's also going to limit its reach, which is what the biggest problem is. It limits the reach of a video. This is a policy that just happened like 2-3 weeks ago. So all my latest videos, I've been censoring them all, and they've been doing so much better because they're censored now. So it sucks. It's like you got to watch every word you say now. It's like it's like the old days of TV. You can't say anything.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm gonna play a game with you guys, like I play with my kids. I play this game with my kids. You all know it's who can be quiet the longest. You know, I'll buy you a gift if you. And it sometimes works if they really want a certain gift or something like that. So we're gonna play a game. Who can not curse the longest wins the prize.
I'm not a big cursor at all. Who's a big cursor?
Jimmy the Bull.
I am.
Jimmy
Let's take a vote. Who's the worst?
Jimmy.
I am.
Of course, Jimmy. Nah, I think Jimmy, dude, because Jimmy is like so intense all the damn time.
Plus,
So,
he's
of
always
course.
screaming, so you hear the curse really.
You know what'll happen? We'll go the whole show. There won't be curses. Jimmy will come in the last 2 minutes of the show, and he doesn't know this whole thing, and he'll just start flying. The F's will be flying out of his mouth.
Yeah, the whole quota. It's like the whole quota would be exceeded for like the entire week.
In 30 seconds. The whole quota
30 seconds.
I think Greg is second.
We'll save the quota
I'm
for
bad.
him.
I can't help it. Natural.
Because I don't cuss
Can
at
you roll
all.
it over to the next show in case he doesn't show up?
Yeah. Yeah, Armand never curses, actually. I noticed that.
No, he doesn't. I just noticed that.
Don't need to follow my footsteps. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a...
Hey, I think it's an East Coast New York thing, though. I mean, it's like we're born with it, born cursing.
You know,
Can we say
do
stuff
that,
like
Armand.
bullshit?
It's not curse.
What
you
about
got to
like
say you know,
Darn
my
it.
Bush, my coach used to say Bush all the time, my soccer coach, you know, for BS, you know.
Oh yeah.
I got to bring something up. You know how, you know, it's bad enough that we had COVID here, right? And we had, you know, all the deaths, and we had people getting sick and vaccines and all that drunk. Now they got this bird flu thing, this avian flu. Have you seen this?
No.
The price of chicken eggs are through the freaking roof.
bullshit?
You want to try to buy
They've
egg
been
protein.
saying that for so freaking.
You know what's crazy?
Greg, there's no
price-
eggs anywhere. You can't find them, and then you
No,
do
but
them like
that's
$10
BS.
a
They've
dozen.
been saying that for. I've been hearing that for 3 years. That bird flu. It's all part of the grand plan. What about milk and everything else that went up? Is there a cow flu?
Well, no, Greg. And not only did it go up in price, but it also is they're not. You can't find them. The shelves are kind of bare.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that the price.
For the egg protein. We can't sell egg protein. We can't get the raw.
No, it's probably a fortune too if you could get it.
You can't even find it. Even if you wanted to pay a fortune, you can't
They
find
created
it.
Really, you can't even get
The number one most smuggled thing over the Mexican border is eggs.
Wow.
Really? Is that true?
That is
Well,
true.
you know, that was also a huge price point too, man. In prison, like they were selling like the separate eggs because that was the only thing that was not drenched in fucking soy. So a lot of people.
Why is that? I noticed that. You're right. Eggs were a big commodity in prison when I was there too.
Huge. They used to sell them for like $1 a fucking egg.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
How come the bird flu's only in the United States? It didn't go over the border.
That's not
You're
true,
telling me
Greg.
it's
Greg,
true.
that's not true. That's
Explain
not
what
true.
this bird
The
flu
chicken-
is. What
It
Yeah,
started in
those
China,
eggs
probably.
are
It's
So
not true, Greg.
What's
It's
that?
all over. It's
It's
not
probably
true. It's all
it
over.
originated in Buffalo.
Yeah, but it started.
No, you know what the
they've been
funny
saying
thing
the
is?
bird flu for
The
How come
birds
the
were
birds
started
are
in
not
China,
here?
and I guess all the birds that got on the airplane
You better
and
watch
came
your
over
mouth.
here, brought it over here, right?
Right.
No.
How come
it wasn't around when Trump was president? I was getting eggs. I was getting jumbo eggs at Walmart for 89 cents at Walmart. The minute Biden became president, this so-called bird flu came in, and before you knew it, it jumped up.
Well, that's my point. I think they're almost it's like COVID for the birds now. They're trying to
Yeah, that's because Biden's a bird brain. Forget about it. It's
The bird
no
brain.
way. I'm trying really hard not to curse, Dave, by the way.
Yeah, it is kind of embarrassing to have him as a president. And it's not, I'm sure back in the day he was a brilliant guy, but you know what? When you start losing your mental faculties, you really don't want that guy leading the country at that point. I mean, why hasn't Congress removed him because of his incompetence?
That's what all these documents, the top secret documents are all about.
Yeah.
This is the way the Democrats can get rid of Biden without endangering themselves.
Oh, I see.
So this is the way they can single Biden out, get him to not run, and not poison the entire party.
Right.
Yeah, but it's already poison.
Because you can't say that the price of eggs is only Biden's fault. You can't say that the border is, although it is only Biden's fault, but there's other people involved.
Yeah.
The documents, only he's involved. So
Wait,
it isolates him so that the Democrats can get rid of him so that they can open the door for, Gavin Newsom or.
Can I ask Dave a question?
Yeah.
Dave, if I call a male rooster cock, can I say that here or is that a curse?
I don't know.
If I say that's it,
can these AIs tell context?
No, because you got to say in South Carolina, Gamecocks.
Wait, guys, listen to this.
Hey, all those holes in the back of the wall, you need to use a good cock for that. Yeah.
Hold on, Richard, listen to this. You're gonna laugh. Listen.
Different word.
Guys, listen what happened. One of my videos on Liver King, I was saying the kids eat B. I'm not gonna say the word because they'll screw this, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is there's a timestamp and it shows, hey, it tells the Indian who's in part of YouTube to go look at that part of the video where I said the kids eat B, right? And I'm talking about the Liver King eating the liver bowls, right? That's okay to say.
Yeah.
So the Indian goes and he looks at that scene and he goes, you know what? This guy, we're reporting this video for pedophilia because he's telling people that the kids are eating bowls. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Yeah, but today in the Democratic fucking
so you're saying
that's okay, isn't it?
So when it gets flagged,
but it's not good on YouTube, Greg.
Yeah,
Greg, that happened to Charlie Gasparino and you. Remember you said you guys were going to hook up.
Yeah, it did. Matter of fact, we were on Neil Cavuto. Neil Cavuto had a thing about me and Charlie Gasparino on TV because
Explain who Charlie Gasparini is so people know, Greg.
Charlie Gasparino is my childhood friend. All right, and we still hang out. We go out like one Friday out of the month. And he's a Fox Business News senior correspondent. And we were talking on Facebook when Bob Bonham died. It was when Bob Bonham died. He was like, yo, Greg, I heard Bob just died. I'm really upset about that. I was like, yeah, I know, blah, 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 blah. He goes, dude, let's just hook up and, let's get together and we'll hook up. You know what I mean? And I said, sounds great. So Facebook, because I'm always talking shite. I said, I didn't say the real word.
You gotta be careful, yeah.
Okay, because I'm always talking nasty stuff on there. They have like an algorithm with me, and they said that, me and him were trying to pick each other up in a bad, in a gay type way, and they put they closed my account down, and they put a thing on him, so he went on Neil Cavuto, and they talked about it on Neil Cavuto. Cavuto put this whole thing up, right, about like, holy God, you know what I mean, like. Look what they just did because Gasparino, Charlie here, because Charlie was sitting there on the show, and they put up pictures of me, and they were like, oh, my God, this guy's like, look what he looks like. And Chuck was saying, yeah, it's my boy. I mean, we grew up together. We were just saying, let's hook up. Let's get together. We'll go out to dinner and everything. He said we weren't saying in any kind of a bad way, but then Facebook saw that and right away took back our, reestablished my account. But they actually closed down my account for that. They said I was hitting on him, trying to pick him up and stuff.
Because
Meanwhile,
they
he blew
can't
past
tell the
me.
context. That's why they're Indians. What do you expect out of them? They can't.
So I
speak
thought
English.
I thought it was automated. So you're saying that it's actually manually reviewed?
Well, it's manually reviewed. Yeah.
After it's flagged, they manually go review.
You know what
Again,
I'll say one thing. This show is always flagged right off the bat. It's flagged before it's even possible to flag it. So, but it always gets reviewed, and 99 times out of 100, it does get cleared most of the time. You know,
Because they like it.
the Indians watching it must like the show because
First of all,
they do
you
clear
guys
it.
are gonna. First of all, this whole show is gonna get shut down because you keep calling Indian people Indians. You got to call them like
well, you
Yeah,
call them
I don't
Gandhis.
know.
Gandhis.
What do you call them? What do you call them?
Yeah, what do you call them?
I don't know, but the way it doesn't sound right.
Pakis and Indian.
Hindi.
Pakis and Indians are
Bro,
different
I'm
though.
just kidding around.
Hindi.
Listen,
Hindi.
I'm not political correct. I'm anally direct. I'm not political correct.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. If
Yeah.
we're Americans, why are Indians calling Indians wrong when they're from India?
I don't know, but I'm just saying they're probably
Matter of fact, the American Indians are really not Indians because they're not really from
no, they're
India.
Native Americans.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
they're
allowed
Native
to say
Americans,
they're Indians. I don't think that's racist.
No,
No.
listen, I don't go by all that woke shit. If you guys watching this, you think, what is Valentino woke all of a sudden? No, I'm being a smart.
No, we know you are. No, we know you are. But I'm just saying, I don't think Indian is a bad term for
No,
No.
I'm just
India.
I'm being
No.
facetious. I'm saying, you got to watch everything you say. If I call you, you're a good guy. How do I know that you're a guy? Dave, what's your pronouns, by the way? You know what I'm saying?
What would you what's the bad word? Like if you call an Indian, the thing with the dot on his head, a lot of that's some negative people say that would be derogatory,
No, we call them dot heads.
Right. That's derogatory.
Hotheads.
I was trying not to say it, Doug. That's
Morning.
derogatory.
We just
We got
look.
the
Thanks a
show
lot,
flagged.
John.
You know what the crazy part
Racist
though?
content.
They take it real well, that race, because they don't get that mad when we call them names.
They're
We get-
smart.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
they
they're way
take all our
smarter than we
fucking
are.
money. That's why.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
smart. They don't care.
They don't care. Just keep
Yeah.
shoveling money at
They're
it.
nice people, though. Honestly, they're very
They
nice
are.
people.
I dated
Some of
one.
them are.
You did,
I
Greg?
dated an Indian girl. You know what's
Her
funny?
Her
I
parents
dated
must
this
have wanted
Indian-
to kill you.
Dave, I dated this Indian chick back in 1981, and she couldn't speak
He remembers the
good
year.
English.
Hold
She's-
on,
I
Greg,
used to ask her-
Greg, before you tell the story, I want to make a prediction. I have not heard this story. Romano, how much do you want to bet that it involves his tongue between her ass cheeks at some point?
And there was
Oh.
probably, and because she's Indian, there was probably a lot
It
of
has
hair.
something to do with spicy
Based
food.
on- no, the whole story's based on his tongue in her ass.
Her butthole was spicy. But
Hey, yeah, the curry
Oh.
smell.
How
wait,
was her
listen.
hair, Greg?
she used to say she had long hair. My girlfriend has long
No,
hair.
her body hair.
No, her pubic hair.
Oh no, she was hairy. I like that though. Yeah,
No.
you know what I mean? I like that fucking heavy fucking Bermuda Triangle down there. You know what I mean? That rub. You know that. And I like it when it goes right to the butthole and then right up the belly button.
No, you're nasty. No. You're nasty,
The
Greg.
belly button is hot.
No,
But
I'll
then-
throw up.
A buddy of mine told me that Indian girls taste like curry.
They smell like it.
Only
They
if
smell
eat
like it
that
too,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
Only
You
if
ever
they
go to
eat
the
curry,
gym and the
No,
guy's
they
working
smell
out
like-
Indian,
yeah.
the whole gym smells like the Indian.
Fuck
Yeah,
right,
they
dude.
do.
It's like
Dude,
You
let me
just
tell you.
name on that stuff,
But
right?
this-
Armand, you
No.
got personal. Armand, you got personal experience on that one?
With Indian girls smelling?
Yeah.
Yeah, curry.
Yeah.
Well, us Italians smell like garlic,
Yeah.
right? John?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's some pretty Indian girls, but that
Tell us
have
the
to deal with
story.
that odor.
Don't hide it.
Yeah,
No,
no,
wait.
with that odor.
Tell
That
us.
Mine
odor.
didn't stink at
odor.
all.
Yeah, I mean the odor. Like this girl I was seeing, hung out with. We were hanging out. It was awkward because they invited us over. My other friend was like kind of like a ex-white supremacist guy, kind of looked a little scary. And I'm like, y'all gonna hang out here? I thought they liked each other, so I went there or whatever. And she was really cute, like really cute. And and then as soon as the curtains opened, it was like, oh man, couldn't do it.
Hold on. Did you say your friend was hanging out with her?
He was her friend. I was with her.
Oh.
She had a friend
Oh.
with her in another room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of Indian girls practice tantric sex.
What's that, John? Explain that.
Tantric sex is it's a lot goes. It's a whole study, but basically what you do is you put off your orgasm later and later and later to derive more and more and more pleasure out of the act, rather than wham bam thank you ma'am kind of thing.
It's always better.
So it's methods and methodologies to prolong the process so that you derive
There's
more.
no wrong with that.
Intensifies your pleasure.
I like that shit, bro. But the one I was with was from Trinidad. She wasn't from India, so she was Indian descent from Trinidad.
Hold on. I don't think Trinidad's the
Trinidadians.
same thing.
Yeah, Trinidadians are different, dude. I
Dude,
fucked around with Trinidadians.
This fucking girl. Oh, excuse
Hold
me.
on.
Sorry.
This friggin' girl could not speak. She spoke like really bad English. Like, you'll be at my house at 3:30. Yes. And I'd say, yay. I used to ask her, like, how would you say automobile? And she'd go, I don't know. Like an Indian. She just learned bad English. She couldn't even speak Indian language, but she spoke bad English because her family was older. And when they brought her here from Trinidad, they said, no, we're going to speak English only. So she learned really bad English. How about that?
But Greg, isn't Trinidad from like Trinidad and Tobago? Isn't that like an
Right.
island?
In the Caribbean.
Nothing to do with India.
I know it's in the Caribbean.
No, but there's a lot of
In the
Indian
Caribbean.
people living in Trinidad. She was
I've
hot
been
as
there.
hell.
I've been in
Oh,
Trinidad.
Hold on. So she was an Indian girl living in Trinidad?
She was from Trinidad. She moved here in Queens. She lived in Jamaica.
What does that
Queens.
have to do with Indian?
She's
Well,
Indian.
Well, she
She's
was in
from
Trinidad.
Her family's from India that moved to Trinidad, right?
Okay. So she was
She
Indian.
gave birth- She lived the first part of her life in Trinidad, but she couldn't speak.
Right.
They wanted her to speak English, so they
Right.
taught her bad English. They'd be like, "You come at my house at 3:30? Yes." And I'd be like, "Yeah." But when I would
Indian
ask her how to
accent.
say
Oh, an
words,
Indian Trinidadian.
Yeah.
right,
I got
right.
it.
Why?
You're
I don't get the
popular.
bad English thing. What's the bad English thing? I don't get that.
I met her in Xenon's discotheque. John Romano. Do you remember Xenon's discotheque?
I do actually.
What year was that, Greg?
Oh God, 1981.
80s. That's the 80s. Yeah, that was
Wow.
early 80s.
That's where I met Gladys Portuguese too.
Really?
Oh,
Xenon's
really?
discotheque. Yeah.
Was she as good looking in person as she was in the
Dude,
magazine?
Gladys Portuguese. I didn't make out with her, but I kissed her. She was the greatest fucking looking girl. She was the best looking girl on the planet. But I'm friends with Brian Moss, and she. Had
Yeah, I
just
think
met
Van
Brian
Damme
Moss.
is still married to her.
No, Brian
Moss
Moss
was first.
No,
Brian Moss was her man. Brian Moss made her.
Hold on,
Brian
you said
Moss
you hold on.
made
You said you kissed her. Well, how did you
No,
kiss her?
just as a friend. Kissed her on the no. No, not like that. I wish I did. I'd get on the ground and I'd worship her feet. I'd do whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I also wasn't that ugly back then. You know what I mean? You're talking that was around 1981 also. So I didn't look like Uncle Fester like I do now on steroids. You know what I mean? I wasn't always this ugly. But so
None
when I
of us
met her,
were.
she was cute. I was just kicking it with her. But I was with a lot of bodybuilders and stuff. Brian Moss was there.
Did she?
I'm good friends. Brian Moss is one of my good friends.
Yeah, I love Brian Moss. Did she leave Brian Moss or did he leave her?
She left Brian Moss. What happened was she was doing a bikini shoot somewhere like in Hawaii or something like that, and Jean-Claude Van was there doing a shoot too, and that's how they met. When she came home, it was over.
But what happened? What happened? Did he just
she
like
met
kind of?
Brian. I mean, she met Van Damme, and basically the relationship with her and Brian was over. And I'm going to be honest with you, Brian's a great guy.
Oh, I know he is. So was Brian?
I know Brian for years, man.
Was Brian really upset with the whole thing? I mean,
yeah, he was upset because Brian mentored her. Brian's the one who made her what she is. Look at that. Look at that.
He's like, that's like the look of the 80s. That's like the real, like that. You look at that picture, you say 80s, right?
Flash dancer.
Dude, oh my God. My God. Wait,
that hair though is amazing. Like I just one of the things which fascinates me about women, like curly hair like that. Oh my God.
Wait, I got a great story
permanence.
for you. Check it out. Listen to this, because I'm looking at that picture and it reminds me of Jennifer Beals from Flashdance.
Yes, of course.
Right, wait a minute. I got a great story for you. Jennifer Beals has a brother named Bobby, right? And Bobby Beals was Carlin Coker's best friend growing up. All right. Dr. Coker. You guys all know Dr. Carlin Coker.
Yeah.
All right. So Bobby Beals was Carlin's best friend. Carlin's older sister used to hang out with Jennifer. Jennifer started out just doing little like theater stuff and then tried out for like, extras in the movie. She was the extra in the movie My Bodyguard. And that's how this all started.
Oh, I love that movie. That's with Matt Dillon, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know the story of Matt Dillon?
No. But wait a minute. Let me tell the story first. Listen.
Tell that story then. Remind me. I'll tell you the story.
I'm telling Carlin Coker. Bro, she is so hot looking. Oh my God, she is so hot looking. And then I told him I'd live in the bathroom a whole week just to smell one of her farts. So he goes on the phone and he calls up this guy, Bobby, her brother, right? And he's talking to her, right? He's talking to Bobby Beals, right? So he's talking to Bobby and Jennifer's in the background. And she's Jennifer. Like, hi, Carlin. Hi, Carlin. So Carlin goes, hey, listen, my friend. We're at the gym here. This is when we were at Bob Baff's Fitness Center in Yorktown Heights. We were teenagers. And he goes, Bob, Jennifer, my friend said he'd live in the bathroom a whole week to smell one of your farts. And she said, if that guy ever comes near me, I'm going to have him arrested. You tell him to stay from I was like, Carlin, you got to have
Hey, Greg. Hey, Greg.
Carlin Coker will tell you the story. It was the funniest thing because I like Carlin. Not that I ever had a shot with that, but you killed it. You know what I mean?
Hey, Greg. This girl right there in that picture, would you suck a fart out of her ass?
Dude, I would eat her fart. Dude, she could blow a milk dud in my ass. From her ass into my mouth, I'd swallow it. I love her. Dude, listen to me. I'm convinced her, Gladys Portuguese, I'm convinced when they fart, it doesn't stink. It smells like fresh baked cookies. I can guarantee you that if Gladys Portuguese threw a fart right now, it would smell like somebody's cooking chocolate chip cookies. Is that brownies? Oh my God, is that fresh baked bread? I love that smell. I can guarantee you that's what that smells like. There's no way nothing bad could come out of that ass.
Well, yeah.
No way. No way. I want to be on the other end to test it out.
I think Greg has a little ass fetish. Is what
I
do.
He does.
What are you just figuring that out?
Yeah, I think. But it's strange. No, but it's not a regular kind like you like.
No, it's a 10-year-old
like
boy ass fetish.
It's some strange thing. He's like,
I think it's an obsession. Like fuck a fetish, bro.
I mean, look, he's using enemas on himself. He wants
it's
to
not a fetish. It's a way of life. I love
girls.
it. I'll eat my girlfriend's ass for a friggin' hour. You have no idea. I love it.
No, but that's different though. But the things you're talking about is some strange,
like
weird.
dropping her, not dropping her one off in your mouth though.
Yeah,
you did. You know what? You got to go with the flow.
What do you do with it?
Jam it in his gum and save it for later.
The only thing I won't do though is eat a box that's been bleeding and shit. I don't go near that.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Oh yeah. What about the yeast infection?
No, the yeast infection.
Unopened box on earth, you would.
I was eating that box and shit. I was like, why does it feel like rubbery? It's like weird. And then when I turn on the light and I look, it's all like white.
No, it's not good.
And she had a yeast infection.
What would you take better, the period or the yeast infection?
The best part, I got her good though. You know why? Because I had a big wad of Hubba Bubba gum. And I was like eating her box. And then when I was done, I was like, holy fucking, I had a big wad of Hubba Bubba gum. Where did it go? Like, what happened? I remember what it was. And I looked and it was all in her friggin' hair.
Ew.
Yup.
It's a good place to put it.
She still calls me up. She's on my Facebook. She's one of my Facebook friends still to this day. How long that happened?
Greg,
send her a link to this video.
Control of a big wad of Hubba Bubba gum.
Why?
How do you lose control of a big wad?
You're all in the moment and shit. I was just, I had gum in my mouth. And
I can understand, you get a little something caught in your teeth and, you spit it out to the side. But a fucking wad of Hubba Bubba gum?
I didn't realize. I was caught up in the moment. I didn't realize that I should have spit it out before I, ate the box. But I didn't. I was down there and, I just, next thing I know, it's like, and she got really pissed. Really pissed,
She had to rub ice on it.
And then it was funny.
Get a lot of her hair.
Like 2 weeks later, we were in a nightclub with Fran Volpe and all them guys, and I was talking to her, and I had same thing. I had Hubba Bubba gum in my mouth, and it fell out of my mouth and went in her freaking hair. I was talking in her ear, and she's like, "That's it." She was really pissed off at me because it went in her hair.
You know, the poor Indian that's got to read the transcript of this show.
No, he's going to be excited. He's going to be like, look, we got to let this go. This is good stuff here. You know what I mean? You got to we can't can this.
The poor Indian is writing all this shit down, and then he's translating it, and he's
telling all
selling
his
it.
friends. He's like telling his friends how funny.
He's writing ebooks. He's making a
John,
freaking
they speak English in India, so I don't think he has to translate it. But
all right, well, you know,
before we get to Aaron Singerman, I want to bring up one more thing. Did you guys see the latest on? I love DeSantis, our governor of the state. He's my hero. This guy. Did you see the latest? They were trying to call him a racist.
Yeah, I love him.
They were trying to say because he was denouncing the Black Studies course. Did you see that? They said he was a racist.
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't see it.
There was a course on Black history, but in this course on Black history, he said they're not going to teach it in my state because it involved queer theory. You know what queer theory is?
No.
Where do these people have that little?
Queer theory is an approach to literary and cultural study that rejects traditional categories on gender and sexuality. He's like, why is that in the Black history? Why is queer theory being taught in Black history? They were trying to
No. They want to erase real history and replace it with that. Like they don't want to talk about George Washington and the Revolutionary War. They only want to talk about slavery. That's all they want to talk about.
No. Greg, this is something different. They wanted to speak this queer theory about gender and neutrality into the Black history course. And he said, we're not doing it. They're not teaching queer theory in the schools in Florida. Sorry, not happening. So they try to paint him as a racist, saying that he wasn't allowing Black studies to be taught in school, but it wasn't that.
What does that have to do with gay? I don't understand.
That's what he said. He goes, why is queer theory in the Black history course? What's wrong with people?
What was the answer?
The answer is he's not letting it being taught here. He goes,
no. But whoever wrote the curriculum, what are they saying as to why it's in there?
No one's giving it a thing, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to cover up and make him look like he did something wrong. And he explained the reason why I rejected this is not because of Black history, it's because queer theory has nothing to do with Black history.
They did the same thing to him with the don't say gay law that doesn't say don't say gay.
Right. And then look at the NHL, what they just did. They were having a job fair down there, and it said no white people, Black, Hispanic, Asian, blah, blah, but no white people. And he said, fuck you. Start. He said, he said, frig you. You know what? You're not. I'll shut the whole thing down. And then they were like, oh, no, we didn't mean no white people. Oh, that was a typo. Sorry, because listen, I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your, whatever you were born. I don't care. The best person for the job is the best person for the job. It's like when Gavin Newsom over there in LA hired a police chief that was a female and a fire chief that was a female. And he's trying to say, it's the best people for the job. Just like the New York Yankees, who I love to death. I love them to death. But their single A manager is a woman. Okay. Now, is she the best person for the job? Better than all these ex-major leaguers and all this stuff? She's a 30-something-year-old woman. No, it's wokeism. We got to get women involved in there. We got to get women, it's because they're trying to separate us. They're trying to,
Greg,
my mother used
this
to
is
say,
the answer to John's question. This is John. This is what happened. At the end of the news conference, reporters asked DeSantis more questions about the cancellation of it's an advanced placement program, by the way, in high school, African-American Studies program, which comes after the state banned teaching of critical race theory in a law that DeSantis called the Stop Woke Act. He said, beyond queer theory, the governor said he was concerned about the content in the African-American Studies course that he said involved abolishing prisons. He said he believes that's not what Black men and women want. They want law and order, he said. That's a radical political position. He goes, it should not be in the curriculum. And he's right. They want to abolish prisons. What does that have to do with Black history?
What it is. It's because he's sneaking it in.
Right.
See, he's using black. He's saying, look, we're going to.
No, he's not. No, he's against it. He's against
But
it.
he's saying he's using the black people as a pawn. He's saying, look, I'm going to teach black history, but inside that black history, there's this pebble, a little rock. It's almost like we're going to throw mud balls, but your mud ball has a rock in it.
But he's not doing it.
No, Greg. He's against that. That's
I
why
know that. That's what they're doing. No, I'm not saying he's doing it. They're doing it, and he's saying, you're not teaching about black history. I know what you're doing. You're putting that queer shit and stuff in here.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the one doing it. I'm saying he's stopping. I love to see
it. It's terrible. It's terrible that they're trying to paint him as a racist to try to, to show that, because they don't like this guy, because this guy does not play by their rules. And,
no.
Well, Greg, Dave, this shit always backfires on them.
Yes.
They do this all the time, and it always backfires, and they still keep doing it
because they get away with it. There's enough.
But it backfires on them. It makes them.
John, how many people saw the headline that DeSantis is a racist because he won't allow advanced placement Black History studies in Florida, and never read the rest of the article to find out why?
That's how the left operates. They only go by headlines. They don't. So that's why in any left-leaning publication, the headline usually has almost nothing to do with the story.
Where's the fact checkers on this? That's what
that's what I just said, Dave. It's they're using the black thing and the shield as a shield behind the racist thing. Yeah. So they're really saying, "Oh, well, you don't want us to teach black history and all that stuff." That's not the case, because it's not black history. You know what you're doing. And hidden in there is this whole agenda of queer, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, and that's what they're all doing today.
Oh, where's Mr. G on island?
No, I'm gonna. I'm in my. I'm in my back screening porch. No, I'm gonna do. I've been preparing for an ice bath. I'm gonna do an ice bath live on show. I'm filling up my tub, and then I'm gonna.
It looks like he's in the witness protection program.
Yeah, hold on. I got to clarify something.
On the neighbor girls, the teenagers again.
George, before I get to you,
okay.
Sid sent me a text message. He said, I guess the Trinidad people came over as indentured servants 100 years ago. Same with Guyana. That's why you have Indian-looking people that sound Jamaican here in New York City. So they are of Indian descent then. So Greg was right.
Sid is so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, tell Sid she was my girlfriend for a small period of time, but she was not. She didn't have a Jamaican. She spoke with a really heavy Indian accent, but yet she couldn't speak any Indian language. She said
bad English.
Wait, is Sid Indian?
English. But she was gorgeous. Dude, she was gorgeous. She had hair. My girlfriend, too, has hair down to her ass. I love that.
Yeah. A lot of girls cut their hair nowadays. I don't know why.
What's that?
A lot of girls cut their hair these days.
Not my girlfriend. She's got it down to her ass. I love long hair, man.
Right.
Dave, is Sid Indian?
He's Pakistani.
Okay, good. So he's not mad at us then.
I love Sid.
No, he's educating. He's educating us.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sid is the greatest guy. If you don't like Sid, man.
No, nice guy. Nice guy. Very nice.
He's my right hand man.
He's a great announcer. He's like Marv Albert. Sounds
dude.
like
Sid is a really great guy.
Unbelievable.
How long have you been with him? I remember him on the channel since I first started watching it.
It's got to be about 8 years now, I would say. 8 or 9 years.
My girlfriend speaks a little bit of Indian too, so I'm not sure if she's talked to Sid like that. I gotta ask. Sid will tell you. No, my girlfriend's obsessed with languages. She could speak some Arabic, all that stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Greg,
you could ask Sid. My girlfriend's into all that. Johnny,
why don't you get her on here? Can you get her on one of these days?
So how many languages?
Well, let me ask you, why is she always sleeping at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
She's taking a nap.
Because he's doing too much to her butt.
Wait, Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. You know, I think you've talked to my girlfriend, right? She's really into all that belly dance. Like she talks to Big Rob and stuff about all that. You know.
Yeah, I called her Sharmuta. She loved it.
Yeah, she loves that. She loves that. Are you kidding me? She likes all it. She knows everything, all the belly, all the food, all that stuff.
Hold on, I gotta give Jimmy the speech before we let him turn him loose.
Yeah, tell him. I'll be right back.
You can't be throwing a million curses around, Jimmy, because the YouTube has got some new policy now when they.
Oh my God!
So you got to use the Italian curses. Can you do it in Italian?
So So you only
My
allowed.
father would always say "fungu." You know, he wouldn't use the curses around us as kids. You know?
Fungal.
You only allow 10 curses a minute.
Jimmy,
What's this world coming to, man?
Jimmy, we're pussified.
I mean, before you know, we're not gonna be able to do anything anymore. I mean, you know, where's the fun? I don't understand. If I can't curse and yell a little bit, I mean, well, I just cursed at the neighbor. I was trying to nap over here, and the guy's next door. I work. You know, I got this new gig I'm doing. I'm up 1 a.m. now. I'm retarded. I come home. I tried to nap at 12 o'clock. I came home. I tried. The guy's next door. He's cutting hi-hats in the soffit with that little the Dremel. You know, he's you know, you know, like, you know, like I finally couldn't take it anymore. I opened the door, you know, because he's right over here, the guy, and I says, "Oh, yeah, you got to do that. You got to cut soffit, the hole in the soffit now." I said, "Do me a favor, go work in the backyard and stop. Go put up a fence. I mean, I'm trying to sleep over here. And you cut the damn thing. I mean, how long does it take to cut a 3-inch diameter hole?"
The whole
then I fucking screamed and yelled at the guy because I'm trying to fucking sleep. The guy turned purple, so I felt bad and I went outside and I gave him a Muscle Mobster T-shirt.
You initiated him, Jimmy.
There
I
you go,
did.
Jimmy.
I said, "I gotta listen. Let me give you a T-shirt." I said, "What size?" I gave him a T-shirt. Yeah,
That a boy, Jimmy.
The guy was turning green. So can I talk about the latest news, or we're not allowed to talk about that either?
What?
What's news?
Well, it was breaking news today on TV.
What? The Earth
we
is
need
flat.
to have more documents.
Huh?
The Earth is flat.
No, the Earth's core stopped.
Oh, is it?
Guys next to. How you doing, fellas? All right, everything all right? All right, you done with this? You done with the soffit, the hole?
He still has a good connection.
All right. I was trying to fucking nap over. You got the fucking. Well, I'm doing a show now with a couple of my friends. You need any electric? Or you all right? All right, good.
Jimmy got to throw a few quarters.
All right, brother.
Back up.
Jimmy got to throw a few quarters in the jar, buddy.
Wait a minute. What happened to the breaking news?
Oh, so the Earth's core.
Oh, she's gonna give us some fucking bullshit conspiracy theory.
Uh-oh.
This ain't conspiracy. This was
Watch
on
the
the.
language, guys.
This was on the news that the Earth's core.
Oh, then it's gotta be true.
John, what are you breaking my balls for? All right, I'm telling you what was on the fucking news. The guy said that the Earth's core.
You're
Stop.
exceeding the limit.
All right, see the Earth's core. The Earth's core stopped. That's
What do
it.
you mean the Earth core is stopped?
They said on the news that the Earth's core is not turning anymore. It stopped. And it said it might start going in reverse and cause catastrophic events on planet Earth. That's what they just said today.
He's right. What makes them think this, Jimmy?
Did you hear that too?
I'm looking it up right now. I'm going to pull it up. But yeah, why is that the case?
So I want an apology from John Romano now.
Hold on.
I want to, because you're telling me that I got to do conspiracy shit, and it's on the freaking news. It ain't no conspiracy. It ain't conspiracy. It's on the news.
It doesn't mean it's true.
Who wrote the article? You got to see who published it.
Popular Mechanics. That's a reputable.
That is it's
Who's
all over the
backing
place
it?
now. The Earth's the Earth's inner core spin has slowed and paused. Scientists believe this happens roughly every 7 decades, as the core will then start spinning in a different direction.
Right.
The new study says there's a direct correlation between the inner core's spin and life on Earth's surface.
What size T-shirt are you? What size T-shirt?
It happens every 7 decades, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens every 7 decades. So let me ask you a question. I got a really stupid question, Dave. I got a real dumb question. Okay.
Yeah.
The Colgate, the Russian, the hole that they built, right? They drilled 8 miles was the deepest that anybody could ever go into the earth. 8 miles. That's it. 8 miles. How the fuck do they know that the Earth's core stops spinning when they can only drill 8 miles in the ground? How's that happen? Huh?
Good question.
Yeah, right.
Good question.
Right, exactly. No, it's a very good question. I gotta go give the guy another T-shirt because I feel bad. I gotta give him Muscle Mobster T-shirt. I feel bad when the guy yelled at him. He scared the shit out of him. He almost fell over. That's the other guy.
Don't you agree, Dave?
What?
It's a very odd question for Jimmy the Bull to raise.
Yeah, brother.
Usually he
man.
believes all that crap.
Don't mind me yelling and screaming. I'm Italian. I'm a Sicilian. I'm always screaming and yelling. Now I'm told that I can't curse anymore. So yeah, that's a muscle mobster. Once you wear it in good health. Is that a double X? All right, brother. I want some lights over here in my house too. All right.
Oh my God!
It is interesting. They all say the same thing, that it's like a little sphere inside the Earth that spins in the opposite direction. But how the heck do they know that? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How the fuck do they know that?
We gotta get
person. Oh, of course. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, you're cursing. You've filled the quota plus some. We probably will get demonetized because of you.
It's better when you don't curse.
I didn't mean it. I apologize, Mr. YouTube. I'm very sorry. I won't curse anymore. I'll wear diapers. I'll make sure I clean my underwear. I'll cut my toes. I'll make sure my nails are trimmed. I'll be a little angel. Thank you, Mr. YouTube.
Jimmy,
Jesus
it's better
Lord.
when you don't curse anyway. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to curse.
No, I mean seriously, it's better. I mean, you still do all the
So also, Dave, while you're checking out the news there, also they saw the 3 UFOs flying over the pyramids. Did you see that too? That was breaking news too this morning.
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
How does Armin not curse?
Who?
He's very mellow. That's why.
How does he do it?
He's burnt out. The guy's burnt out. How's he gonna muster up a curse? What do you mean? How's he gonna? How can we don't curse? Look at him.
It's like two ends of the spectrum. You got Jimmy the Bull over here, and then
he's done.
Not Armin.
He's not gonna curse no more.
He's the exact opposite.
He's like all of us. We're gonna be all castrated soon. We're all gonna walk around with pashados. Well, that's what they want. They want men with pashados. That's what they want. All right? I don't want men no more. You think they want the Viking, the guy that's gonna go out there and fight with the shields and the axe and stand up for what they believe in? Nah.
Yeah,
they don't want that. No. They want everybody walking around wearing diapers. That's what they want. Diapers and makeup and all that, get the nails, the whole fucking nine. Oh, sorry. The whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. This is very difficult. I'm having a meltdown. I can't curse. This is very bad for me. I can't handle it. I don't know how long I can do this for.
I think we should. You know why Armin don't curse? Because he's not Italian from New York.
I think we
should
make a bet.
Italian, that's why.
No, can you edit it? You got to edit this thing and put a beep every time he says that.
George. We're live, George.
Oh, okay.
New York Italian.
Nobody understands that, Greg. You think people understand a New York Italian? Come on.
We talk hyper. We talk with our hands. We get
we
emotional.
curse. We spit when we talk. We use our hands. We beat the hell out of people. We have road rage. That's what we do in New York.
And then if you beat him up, you give him a no bullshit.
I gotta give the other guy a shirt too.
After you beat up or get yelled at.
What size is the other guy? The guy that was up there? Huh? I gotta give him one. I feel bad. I'm not allowed to yell anymore. I'm on medication now. YouTube says I can't curse, and I gotta be good, and I gotta wear like I gotta wear like underwear now, and like with the brajol. I gotta shave my crotch hair.
Wait.
Bravo, don't you think you should be doing a documentary on this guy? He's the last of the Mohegans.
I'm gonna have to.
Last of the Mohegans. I'm like a T-Rex over here that they found in the ground.
Crazy again.
Yeah, I got to put this on, otherwise.
I'm a brontosaurus. That's what I am, a brontosaurus.
Wait, Armin, you're gonna let him talk to you like that? He said that you're done. You're done already. That's why you don't curse. You don't act out.
I can't even hear him, so I don't even know what to say.
No, he didn't say that. We were saying he's not Italian.
See, you know what Johnny Bravo is, right? I'm not going to use the word S-H-I. That's what he is. He's a stirrer. That's what he is.
You said it, Jimmy. I didn't say it.
Right? That's what I'm going to do because I don't have to curse. I'm going to say John Bravo's a stirrer. A stirrer. That's the way I got to talk now because I don't have to curse. I got to be like, I'm gagged. Like, I'm not allowed to curse.
Look at Armin's face when Jimmy yells.
I know, right?
He's horrified.
Armin wants a T-shirt.
Armin looks like he's been meditating for the last 2 hours, actually.
There's a large.
You look like
these are like a premium shirts. They're soft.
I can't hear anybody.
I mean,
today.
you could go to.
Let me mute him for a second because he's too loud.
Yeah.
I said you look like you've been meditating for quite a while.
No, just I had to run an errand across town. Went there. It's bad weather here right now. Like cars in ditches. I'm like, oh shit. So I had to go to Arlington and back, which is about an hour there, hour back. I made it just in time. Washed my face, ran up here. So I was just kind of.
What kind of weather you got? Is it like hurricane type stuff or?
No, I'm in Dallas, Texas. Just bad thunderstorms. So.
Oh, it don't snow and none of that stuff there, though, right?
Yeah,
well, up here, I mean, where we got wind and ice and rain and birds fall out of trees.
George? Wait a second. You know something, Jimmy? I'm here on the East Coast now. I haven't.
Oh yeah, right. You're in Jersey now.
Snow yet? And it's already February 1st.
What the hell is George? What the hell's in the back over there? What are you doing?
I'm gonna ice bath.
I'm gonna do an ice bath.
Go that ice bath?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it live for the first time. I've been getting myself ready with doing ice cold showers, but I never did an ice bath. So I got to.
Dave, you thought I was crazy. You thought I was crazy, man.
If you have a heart attack and drop dead, we're not responsible.
Listen, I surf in 37-degree water. So
Georgie, you know what you got to do is you got to measure the balls before you get in the water and then after.
What do I got to do?
Wait, George, you're gonna get naked because we're gonna get thrown off the air.
No, I want to see that he's got to measure.
He's got to measure his cascarada. He's got to measure.
Especially God.
Yeah.
He's got to measure especially God.
He's got to measure his cascarada.
Especially God.
How come you guys have a different? How come Greg have a different pronunciation of it?
I know, Dave. You know what we're gonna do? I just figured it out how I'm gonna solve this whole cursing thing.
Because I'm Napolitan, he's Sicilian.
We're gonna make up names for the curses. How's that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have our own little.
Greg to do.
That's great.
In Italian.
Just curse in Italian.
Why don't you just have a clicker or like a buzzer every time you're gonna curse? You go.
I couldn't buzz fast enough to get those guys bleeped
No,
out.
Jimmy will do it. Right.
How about Facciaminghe? You know what that means, huh?
There you go.
YouTube you know what that means, YouTube? Facciaminghe. You know what that means? Huh?
Puzza,
You might have
puzza
Italian
minga.
advertisers. Keep it down.
Have you guys seen the slap league that Dana White introduced this past week?
Yeah.
I could picture Jimmy doing that slap league.
Oh, he has a lethal hand too. His hand is brutal.
I can tell just by looking at him.
Yeah.
I saw the one guy got hit so bad.
Yeah, his face rolled.
Jimmy's
Yeah,
hand
he's
like a
got
bunch of
swollen.
bananas.
Johnny, I love you to death, Johnny, but you got to do something different with your hair because you look like you jumped out of a 10-story building and you went straight down. And you listen. I want to help John. I want him to comb his hair like more side, maybe parted in the middle.
It's gonna be cold.
When are we gonna get together, John?
Listen, anytime, man. Honestly, you don't have my number. I don't think.
Let's go to George.
No way, Johnny's hair is perfect. I wish I had Johnny's hair.
Are you ready
I
to go,
would kill
George?
to have Johnny's
Yeah,
hair.
I'm jealous.
I got my assistant here. My assistant.
Can we get a drum roll, please?
All right.
You're just gonna jump in?
No, I
You
gotta.
have a wetsuit on. You can't have a wetsuit on.
No, I knew you.
George,
I
hold
knew
on,
you
George.
guys were gonna say that.
George.
No
George,
wetsuit.
listen. Hold on. Quiet. Before you jump in, okay? Can you move the camera to the other side so that because it's going to look too. You shoot into the light, we're not going to be able to see you. You're going to look dark.
Yeah, especially when you drop your pants, George.
That's why I asked if he was in the witness protection.
no, we
Do
can't
not
see the
shoot
tubs.
into the light.
This
That's
way.
correct.
How's
Yeah,
that way?
Point it at
But
the
I
thing.
can't see the
now.
Oh,
tub.
well.
Yeah, we got to be able to see the tub, though, George. All right, that's better.
Can you see the tub?
Yes.
Wait
All
a
right.
minute. Is that a tub or is that like a
We can see you.
It's
The camera's
It's-
more
We went
focused on your
We
friend.
went to Home Depot, John. He went to Home Depot this morning.
That's not a tub. All these
Yes,
gonna
it
get in
is.
there, all the water's gonna come out.
No, it's not.
That's one of those things you put your clothes in and you store it under the
The
bed.
Irish.
How
Man.
the fuck are you gonna fit in there?
Yeah, how's
Let
he
him
gonna
get
fit
in
on?
there.
Hold on,
Johnny,
we're gonna get in
step
there.
down.
Hold
Hey,
on.
John, you just cursed,
George,
John.
jump in. Jump in, George. I want to see him get in there.
Oh,
Wait a
this is
minute,
who
wait
did-
a second. Hold it.
You gotta time me.
All
Move
of the
the
ice
camera
in the water's
closer.
gonna come out as soon as he gets in. It's not gonna. This isn't gonna work.
I want to see
Move
George
the
put the
camera
lid on.
closer,
After he
please.
gets in there, put the lid on top. I want to see Houdini.
Oh shit!
Woo!
There's no
There he
ice
is.
in there. Come on, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's 7
definitely
bags of ice, Jimmy. Hold on, the sides are gonna come out.
Except
Good,
it's
good.
not a tub.
John Romano, am I right
time
or
me
wrong?
now.
But should your shoulders be under the water?
Yes, half his body's out of the water.
Yeah, you gotta
Close
submerge,
the
George.
front.
I
Go
need
on.
more ice. I need more ice. There's no more ice.
You need a real
You got
tub.
plenty of ice. Go lower.
I need more ice.
You gotta go
No
deeper.
kidding.
You gotta go deeper.
Yeah, put your feet out of it and then tuck your upper body in.
You know that scene in Jaws where they said they need a bigger boat?
Yeah, take your feet out. There you go. There you go.
No, you gotta go under though.
His,
No,
body,
no.
his body's heating up the water. This isn't a real ice.
No, I knew you guys. I got a thermometer here. You guys are gonna say that.
What is the
No,
what's
no.
the
Your
temperature?
shoulders have to go under. That's
I'm gonna put it in there. Hold on, let me see.
You
What's
gotta
the
stick
temperature?
that thermometer. You know where you gotta stick that thermometer, George.
I got 7 bags of ice in here.
Where is it?
Trust me, my assistant. Here's my assistant. My assistant.
My
Tell him how cold it is.
Oh my God.
Hey, what's up, guys? Listen,
Hey,
I put
push him
7
under.
bags of ice.
push him under. Push his ass under there. He's
You
gotta
want me to
have
throw
his
him under the
shoulders
water? I'll throw him under if
Yeah,
you want.
push him down. Let him push him
Push him
down.
down further.
I want you to go down.
All right, I'll go. I can do it myself.
Good, go down.
All right. You guys ready? Yeah.
Yes.
Push him down. Push him in.
John Romano.
Push
just
him down there
yes,
with your
it's
hand.
supposed to show. Am I right or wrong?
He's
There
gonna
he
drop.
is. He's
He's
all the way
gonna
under.
Where's the ice?
There's no more ice in that thing.
You melted it all. This is
Nah,
Georgie.
Yes.
That is not a
I
tub.
love
This
it,
is
man.
orange. With the clothes.
How could you be cold? It's 85 degrees down there.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Jimmy! Jimmy, now I got an ice bath when you come here.
You ain't getting Jimmy in there.
The nursing home.
Hey,
Oh,
Dave.
this is great.
Dave, we should
Oh.
be called the After Hour Misfits. I'm telling you, we're all shot.
Greg,
There's something wrong with all of us.
Greg, you think that's funny? When me and George were shooting at the nursing home scene there, all the neighbors were looking out the windows at his place, man.
I don't think
Yeah.
you
That
can
was it.
stay in there that long.
That was in a nice
Stay
tub.
in there that long. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
So how long are you supposed to stay in there, George? How long
He
are you
has to
supposed to
be-
stay in there?
He has to be in
Hey,
there.
guys.
to his neck, Dave.
guys, I'm just letting you know it's about 30 degrees in here right now.
Wow.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah.
below freezing. How is that possible?
Because I put like 8 bags of ice in there. Plus,
Right,
he had
you
cold
can't-
water.
According to science, you can't get the temperature below 32 because otherwise the water would be frozen, right?
Yeah, but we're in Florida, so I don't think it's going to freeze.
Well, then it's not 30 degrees.
No, I just
George-
looked at the gauge.
It's at 32 degrees.
What's
No,
the
the water would be
degree?
frozen. It'll be frozen, Dave.
Yeah, but he's only in up. He's
Still
only
going
in up
down.
to his chest. He's
You know,
only in up to his chest, and his legs are out. You're supposed to be
Dave,
totally
Dave.
submerged.
What's it look like? 38?
Dave,
The
Okay.
only thing that's going to be frozen is his walls. When you stand up, your walnuts are going to fall off, George.
Yeah, boy.
you
All
ever
right,
see a
it's-
magician do a magic trick and you actually see the mirror? Or, they fuck the whole thing up. You know?
It's like Josie.
It's actually 38 degrees. 38.
Okay, that sounds more reasonable. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you're
All right.
supposed to be in up to your neck, including your legs. Everything has to be under just your head show.
He already went under. I think he proved that he's crazy already. He doesn't need to
We
prove
know
it.
he's crazy, 'cause I wouldn't
I
do
want to
that.
see Richard get into one of those.
Oh, I used to love cryo therapy.
That was
man.
good,
Yeah,
man.
for 30
That was
seconds,
good.
probably, right?
Yeah, I love that shit.
Mr.
How
G
you
is
feel?
swimming
Good,
in
right?
that thing.
And Richard, sorry I had to block you.
Nah, it's all right, man. It's all right, dude. You know me, man. When I find a spot that's very sensitive to somebody, man, especially in football, that's like my passion. I'm gonna be on top of you
You're
like
the
white on
only
rice.
asshole who texts me during the game every time my team is doing bad to make fun of me. And I said, "Open your mouth one more time. I'm blocking you." So I blocked him. He's blocked on my phone. He can't-
And you know what's even better? I'm so important in his life that he even posted a story up saying like, "You are not my friend if you know how much I love football and I follow a team and you're making fun of them. And I'm
Wait,
like,
Richard,
wow.
aren't you from New York? Richard, you're from
Yeah.
New York originally, right?
But I'm not from fucking Buffalo. That's what
I'm not either, but I never go against the New York team ever.
It's the only team that actually plays in New York.
I like it. I'm a Giant fan, but I would go for Buffalo if I couldn't have the Giants.
I don't know what's with Richards up his ass.
Never go against
Didn't they
New
just
York.
play, Greg? Didn't Buffalo just play the other day?
They got the ass whooped. They got the ass whooped.
So did the
All right,
Giants.
All right, enough. I want to move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
We have one more time. I want to talk about the Aaron Singerman comments
Aaron's a
he's
good
been
guy.
making.
He has terminal cancer.
Greg.
Yeah.
He
Let
does?
me give you some background first. Aaron worked for me, as you guys know, and I brought him into the industry, and he was a hard worker, and he at some point got his girlfriend pregnant, and he said, he was panicking because he had to make money, he wanted to be able to support them, and I gave him the opportunity, to do some more stuff at RX Muscle. I told him, look, you love talking on the phone, you're very personable, I think you'd be a great salesman, I think you should do sales. I'll give you a really high commission on anything you bring in. And he brought in good money, and we were making good money on the site. That's when we were covering shows all over the world. Him and I were traveling almost every weekend together. And then I gave him even a raise, and I told him, I want you to take over as the editor-in-chief and do a lot more traveling. I don't want to travel as much. So I was getting burnt out a little bit. And he was doing really, really well. And I guess at the same time, he had started that Blackstone Labs with PJ. They were selling the pro hormones and making good money. And then he started dictating to me what he was going to do and not do. And unfortunately, it came to a point, and I'm not going to go into the whole story, where I basically gave him an ultimatum. I said, look, I'm the owner of the site. I own, you work for me. Yes, you're doing a great job, but you can't dictate to me how to, you're going to do your job. If I want you to do a certain thing, you got to do it my way, and he didn't want it. He didn't feel that he had to listen to my orders. And I said, look, if you don't like it, I don't want you to leave, but you can leave if you want. And I said, it's going to be up to you. I'm not going to fire you. You're going to fire yourself. And so he decided to leave. He got all his panties in a bunch over it. And he started doing stupid things like at shows. He was starting fights with the people who were working for me. And, at the time, Mel Chancey was working for us, and he was doing a show called The Truth or whatever. I don't know. What was Mel's show called? The
Truth.
Final Verdict. It was called The Final Verdict. And he did a show on Aaron. Aaron got a little bent out of shape because, we were talking about what, all the crazy stuff he was doing and how he was acting out. Aaron tried to sue me. That didn't go anywhere. And at some point, we made up. I said, you know what, Aaron, we were friends for so long. Let's just put this behind us. You're doing well. He had started Redcon. I said, let's just be friends. I mean, we're friends. You know what? Whatever happened in the past is the past. And because I always enjoyed Aaron's company. And so we put it behind us. Aaron actually started advertising a little bit on the RX Muscle site. I brought him on there, try to get him and, bring him on and help promote his company, whatever. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was a nice gesture on his part. And I guess he was getting beat up in the comments of the videos. I mean, I get beat up in the comments sometimes of the videos. It is what it is.
Everybody does.
Everyone does. And he took it personally, like I was instigating these people to beat him up in the comments. I wasn't doing anything. There's a lot of idiots out there.
It's a compliment if you get beat up.
100%. Yeah. So he stopped advertising because he got insulted. Then the whole thing, his indictment went down, and eventually, he was facing going to jail. And, I try to, help him out as far as talking to him and give him advice, since I went through this, something similar. And actually, once he went to prison, I actually was writing to him in jail. He had me on his email list. Him and I were corresponding back and forth. And I was trying to encourage him and give him, because when you're in there, it's very lonely. So I was trying to tell him what's going on the outside and keep him in a good mood. And all of a sudden, I was banned from his email list. I don't know why. He removed me from the email list, so I could no longer communicate with him. And that was the last I heard of Aaron.
Dave.
Aaron gets out.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, after 10 months in prison, Aaron gets out. Okay. Everyone's asking, how did Aaron get out? What happened? I don't know. So what do? I cover it in the most professional manner I can cover it. We cover all the scenarios, how he got out, what he could have done, what's going on. I didn't bash him at all. I never would. There's no reason to. I felt bad. I was actually happy he got out for his family. If he did things that I would not have done, by cooperating, that's on him. Only he knows. He's trying to perpetrate now that he got out because he had a medical problem. I mean, Richard can tell you they don't let you out for nothing. Unless you're fucking got 2 days to live, maybe they'll let you out. You know.
And even then, it's like slim to none, dude. It's like, I mean, I was in prison, especially in the Pensacola camp where he resided, at the heart of fucking COVID, where there was like people bedridden, like literally fucking dying.
Watch the language.
I'm sorry, and like literally dying, and they had all these announcements. Oh, if you suffer from this secondary disease or this blah blah blah, we're letting people out. BS, bro. Nobody was being let out. Yeah, eventually, after people started figuring out a way of complaining to the CDC and to what's called region about the living conditions at the Pensacola camp, they started to release people. But as far as like voluntarily, like the way which he made it sound, nonsense, man. I call BS on that crap like 99.9% of the time. Why? Because I've seen it myself.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, I'm going to let you comment in a minute. So, I was kind of like, and then all of a sudden the last couple of days he's been bad mouthing me like I'm a terrible person and I'm not a friend. And that he forgave me like what, for him being fired because he didn't want to listen to me. I mean, it's just a lot of like weird, like crazy, like shit, you know.
And Dave, I was going to add to that. I remember when the story first broke with PJ and Aaron getting indicted. When it first broke, I actually made a video antagonizing you for not talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But that's before me and you knew each other because you said he's your friend. You don't want to put that information out there. You'll talk about it a little bit on Heavy Muscle Radio. So you were being a good friend to him. You wouldn't even cover the story when it first happened.
Because there wasn't enough information. So I didn't want to, like, as his friend, I didn't want to start spreading, rumors. I didn't really know what was going on. He knew, obviously, but I didn't know. So, he knows that people are going to cover it. Just like, Amin at first was a little upset that we had covered the whole event, but everyone was covering what happened with Amin. But then he realized that we were doing it from a perspective of trying to protect him, just getting letting people know what was going on. And now Amin and I are fine, and we're talking and I hope he gets off. But the point is that, you can't just ignore what's going on. People want to know. So all we can do is present evidence and try to speculate what happened. No one's saying whatever he did to get out of prison was good or bad. That's on him. He's got to make that decision for himself, and he's got to live with the ramifications and how people view him. But don't paint a picture of something that didn't happen and then get mad at me like I'm this bad guy because
maybe other people are jacking him up on you.
Actually, no, because dude, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Because the reasons why I didn't have time to bring it up to you, Dave, immediately is because I was having fun with teasing John Bravo, but on the success or lack thereof of Buffalo Bills. But
you're a sadist.
But no, he was ranting on how, specifically saying I don't know why he covered me and addressed me as a rat when he actually did the same thing himself. And I was like, so what? Is he now outright admitting that he ratted? And on top of that,
he did the same thing himself, because that means he did it, the asshole.
Yeah, I know. So he's not just admitting that he ratted, but he's now trying to throw Dave Palumbo under the bus, saying that he was also, I was like,
everyone knows I can show you my sentencing minutes. There's no cooperation on my part whatsoever. If I cooperate, I wouldn't have done a day in jail. So I was facing a lot.
Hey guys, Mr. G is still in the ice bath. We're gonna lose him.
I had to mute him because it was the feedback was terrible. John, what's your take on this whole thing?
John,
it's
too much
like
pot before the show.
I mean, it's so hard to comment on it because, look, for somebody to get out of prison 4 years early, there's only 3, maybe 4 things that you could have done. And we covered them all. And we didn't say he did this, or this. We just said, this is the only way you can do it. And Mel told us that. Richard told us that. I told you that. You told us that. And all of us who have been to prison know what your capabilities are as far as getting out. And there's only a couple of ways you can do it. The fact that he's not admitting to any of them, kind of rules out the acceptable ones and solidifies the unacceptable ones.
I mean, and even then, sorry to interrupt you, is like when you were talking about the times in which like are leaving out early. I mean, I got sentenced to 7.5 and I got out at 5.5. I could have gotten out at 4.5, but COVID prevented me delaying in getting my certification with the RDAP drug program.
It wasn't 6 months.
He says he did the RDAP program. He wasn't even in long enough to do it.
I know, which is nonsense. Which is nonsense because no drug program allows you to do a quarter of it and give you the full year.
That's right.
but you got to be sure to get the program. You got to. He didn't even qualify for the program yet, so we rule that out. You know, we ruled out.
You know what he should do? Unseal his documents. He has a copy of them and show it to everybody to prove it.
He won't.
That's the only way to find out is if you get the documents.
If he doesn't want to, yeah, exactly.
Paper.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, if Aaron is terminally ill, I mean, I would feel really bad. I would want to know that, you know.
Me too, but I don't like the fact that him and Dave, who are friends, see that I don't care what anybody did. If you're rat, you're rat. I don't like rats, but whatever. But the thing is, they're friends, and Dave has not talked bad really about the guy. He reached out to Olive Branch. I like Aaron Singerman. I'd like to see them two become friends. You know, like squash this because Dave's a very caring guy, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on the phone, but he's a good man. And I know that, and Aaron should know that. Aaron, I love you, bro. And I don't talk shit about anybody. I love you. And I think you're a good man, too. You know Dave. Dave is not the kind of guy. If you reached out your hand, even now after this argument, Dave would still be like, let's talk and be friends. Am I right or wrong, Dave?
No, you're right. I never did anything to try to like hurt him in any way. I just covered the story.
Maybe he's mad at all of our opinion on him because we all said things. John Romano said things.
You know what? He should, John, he should never, what he should have said is just gotten out, like Romano said nothing about what happened, how he got out, gone about his business at Redcon, done what he had to do, and just laid low until it blew over. And then no one would have said anything, and that would have been the end of it. But he had to come out grandstanding too much. And then when people actually speculated on what happened, he's getting like he's trying to turn it around on everyone else. That I'm the bad guy. He apologized to me. I did something wrong by firing him all those years ago, even though I gave him an option to
because he's a person that starves for attention.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
What?
Whether you fired him or not for nothing, but he made a fucking goddamn good living after that, right?
No, I know, but you know what, Greg? I didn't fire him. He fired himself. He didn't want to take my advice. I was the boss. He didn't want to listen to the boss anymore. So
I think that mixed lines across, and people are beating him and you BS.
There's another element of this that is bothersome to many of us. And that's the fact that PJ is still in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. So
maybe John, maybe he has to sleep with the trainee and get AIDS too, like Aaron maybe did, so that way he can get out on a medical.
Wait, what?
George, I gotta mute you.
Why?
Your microphone is making terrible noise.
It's fine now. It's no noise.
It's not.
I can't hear anything.
It's got feedback. Watch this. You're muted. Now it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, John, unless Aaron has the best lawyers in history.
Wait, he doesn't have AIDS, does he?
That's regardless of the why, the element of it that PJ is still in prison and he's not getting out anytime soon. It's they're co-defendants in the same case. So those of us who are friends with PJ are like, upset that he's got to stay in and Aaron's out. And that's part of the dissent that's in the community is not so much what Aaron may have done to get out. It's that PJ is not been availed to the same convenience. And that's, doesn't sit well with some of us.
Oh, yeah, especially all these guys were friends. I don't like that. That bothers me.
Yeah, if Aaron was sick, if Aaron had a sick and terminal illness, he would be telling everyone about it because he can't keep his mouth shut. He likes to talk on social media. He's open and transparent, and there wouldn't be sealed documents, okay? So obviously something else happened. I don't care what he did. I could give a shit what he did. Just don't lie. Don't try to make it seem like I'm the bad guy in this whole thing. I'm the one who was trying to write him in prison. I'm the guy who was trying to reach out to him and give him advice before he went in there. All I wanted to do was be his friend, but he couldn't handle the fact that we were going to discuss his case on this show, and that's where he feels that I should have said nothing. In other words,
the harsh reality is what are you? A podcast, right? In what industry? The bodybuilding fitness industry. So what are you going to cover? Topics in that industry. So get the fuck over it. What's
Richard,
up?
let me tell you something. If I got arrested tomorrow, as close as I am with Dave, he would put it on. I wouldn't be upset. I would expect it. I know he would be like, Greg.
Well, Greg, the difference is if you murdered your girlfriend, yes, I would probably not be in favor of of you when I covered the story. But if you got framed for something like Amin did, I would present the facts that's in the newspaper, and then I would say I don't believe that Greg really did it because I know.
Dave, we had a conversation the other day. Wait, Greg. We had a conversation the other day, me and Dave, and I said, listen, if I get arrested, I want you to please make a video first and make up the craziest bullshit you could ever make up. Because I want you to make a video. Get the views. I don't give a shit.
Why would you get it? What would you get arrested for? Like stalking Doug Flutie in his house?
If he shaved his head.
Or
if Johnny shaved his head, that would be criminal.
We're trying to convince Josh Allen to go the other route. What would you get arrested for, man?
He might have robbed the CVS for hairspray. That's all.
No, Johnny, if you shave your head, that's criminal.
Yeah,
that's criminal. You shaved that, dude.
Hold on, Greg. You got a great idea.
Fluid on my head.
Greg, you just had a great idea. If Greg shaved John Bravo's hair on live TV, I think live YouTube channel, that would break the fucking internet. I think.
I think that would outdo the ice man.
Yeah, he'll never do it. John will never do it.
I would do that on my head. I would actually glue his hair on my head.
That would make the ice bath look like a sunbath.
Yeah. John, can you make a wig? Can you make a wig out of your hair and give it to Greg, and then Greg said he'll wear it all the time?
There's prank channels. They do an imitation of me, and they wear a wig. They have a wig, and they imitate me, and they go around town trying to be.
Oh, really?
Try to say things that I say. Yeah, it's funny.
You should send one of those to Greg so he can wear it while his girlfriend's doing them, so she can. They can fantasize about Johnny Bravo while she's talking Greg.
Yeah, my girlfriend thinks he's hot. Let me tell you. Well, they imitate me too. It's called Uncle Fester. Why can't I look like Johnny or Elvis or something? Why do I got to look like Uncle Fester?
I ask myself the same thing, Greg, all the time.
Dude, you're not ugly. I'm fucking ugly, bro.
Dude, I'm uglier than you.
No,
Dave, I got to say something, Dave, about the Aaron Singerman thing.
Okay.
Because I knew him too, right? I was around all that time. What bothers me is that you were the guy that set him on his path, to success. I mean, when he first started hanging around with you and all of that, you were the guy that, invented him, like, you know what I'm saying? So for him to attack you later on, down the road, it's not right. You know what I mean? And that bothers me. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
let's bash the guy, who, actually was responsible for my. And listen, I'm not saying Aaron's stupid. I mean, he had the knowledge to continue on and do Redcon and all that. But I mean, really, you started him, man. That's how he got started.
Yeah.
That's gave him the platform.
That's right. Exactly.
Gave him the platform. Without that platform, you can't go anywhere else. I
don't like shit like that. I really don't.
But Jimmy,
I don't
that's
like
common.
like that, yeah.
Jimmy, haven't you ever had a friend or somebody that you helped out and did shit for?
Yeah.
And then they come back to bite you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Years ago, I was looking at a piece of property with my wife, and she didn't want to buy the house. It was a house out east, so it was this old beat up house. And me and my wife looked at the house. This is going back years ago, and my friend was selling it from California. He called me up and he's like, Jimmy, I want to get rid of this house. My mom. So we went out there. Me and my wife goes, I don't want the house. I said, look, we'll fix it, sell it, rent it, whatever. So she didn't want to do it. So I had a friend of mine, and who told it to he's a total asshole. And I turned him on to it. He bought it, and then lo and behold, he found out it was a 2-zone property. So he built another house on that property. I didn't know. I didn't look into it. You know what I mean? So now then that started him off. All of a sudden did another house. Now the guy's building houses in Florida. He's got 10 houses. I mean, the guy's all he's
another blown opportunity for Jimmy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started, bro. I mean, so now he's an asshole. I mean, I asked him to help my brother, with a couple of things, and he didn't. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but it's not right, man. It's not right. But anyway, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying.
That's like you going over. Yeah, that's like you talking trash about your mentor, man. Like, I mean, my mentor.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's not cool. It's like somebody helps you and boosts you along, and then you turn around and you attack the guy.
Who's the actor who played him?
Is that Greg?
Holy crap, Greg! You started a movie.
Who's the actor who played that guy?
That was
Kaufman. What's his name? Christopher Lloyd, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like the
Wait, who is that? I thought that was
Christopher Lloyd.
That's Greg Valentino.
From Back to the Future.
Holy shit, that looks like me. Is that Uncle Fester?
Yes.
Holy shit. I look like Uncle Fester on steroids. That's funny. Why can't I look like Elvis, like Johnny Bravo does? Why do I gotta look like Uncle Fester? I'm lucky. My girlfriend likes ugly guys. Like my girlfriend thinks they're like George Bush.
Oh, no, Mr. Diop.
I'm telling you.
I have to keep. I'm sorry, I have to keep muting Mr. G.
It's absolutely mind-boggling that the only guy repetitively, perennially, every freaking show cannot get his something wrong, something right with his connection. It's George.
You know what it is, John? It's because the mic
Dave's
is
making it up. It sounds good for the show.
No, it was terrible.
Cups and a string. It would be better than what you ever have hooked up to come on the show with.
It makes for some content.
He's distracted by the.
Without it would be boring.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Look, even the comment guys, look, they're saying it's static.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
they just bust them.
No, it's staticky. That's exactly what happened. The reason why it sounds all right is because I keep muting them.
I can listen to it.
Can you hear it?
It's static.
I'm muting him.
There's even a delay.
I gotta mute him. Sorry.
It's every show, dude. It's every freaking show. Every one.
George, do you hear that feedback?
No.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's him. Who doesn't think
it
there's
doesn't
anything
matter
wrong?
where he is. It doesn't matter whose house he's at, what phone he's using, whose camera he's on. It doesn't matter. It all sucks every single time.
Jimmy's walking down the middle of the street and he's got better connection.
Exactly. George, he says, this is a new phone. It sucks.
Leave him alone, John. That's the best equipment he's got. Leave him alone.
Do you remember that old phone he had with the cat? The lens was so dirty that it was like there was like snot on there or something like that, and he had to like pick it off.
Hey, that wouldn't be George if this shit wasn't happening. It wouldn't be George, right?
Armand is too quiet this.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta get some words from Armand because everyone's asking about Armand. Are you okay, Armand, over there?
I'm good. It's hard. It's really hard for me to hear everything today. I'm just like,
Really?
So, yeah, I can't hear people's conversations really well.
You got wax in your ear or something like that?
Mr.
Maybe
G's fault.
too much.
It's probably too many people talking at the same time. That's why.
There's just that, yeah.
Well, that's always the case.
Did you guys see?
That's
Did
true.
you guys see Leo started posting?
Armand,
again?
you're a good man.
You are too. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, you saw Leo started posting videos again. That asshole.
Yeah, well, he was bound to come back, so.
Yeah.
Who pays attention to that anyway?
Yeah, I don't even. No one even cares.
Yeah.
Are you on any Armand? Are you on any shrooms? Someone thinks you're on shrooms.
No, I'm not. I'm not on anything. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, he looked tired today, bro.
I'm going to send you. Well, you got your. I'm going to send you some stimuli, but before the show, I take a scoop of stimuli because I know I got to be alert for these guys.
Yeah.
You don't drink coffee, Dave?
I do. I do drink coffee. I never was a coffee drinker, but once I had kids and I don't sleep as much anymore, I got to do the coffee in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I
can't film. I can't film unless I drink coffee.
I'll tell you one thing about coffee
in the morning.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I don't do. I could use my stimulants because I have a lot of caffeine in it, but I only do a half serving. But if I do like energy drinks, I feel like I'm overstimulated.
Me too.
Coffee, for some reason, doesn't do that to me. I
Yep.
don't know why. Unless
Me
I
too,
drink
same
like
thing. I can't drink the energy drinks. Like the Monsters, I see people drink 2-3 of them a day. I don't understand that.
my wife can turn down those things. Yeah, she does. It doesn't bother her. But for me, I almost get like agitated. You know,
You're
from it.
sensitive to it, Dave.
Yeah, they're really bad for you. I heard the energy drinks. I never really been into them, but I heard they're really bad. Some people take too much. You know.
Oh yeah.
Right. By the way,
anything too much of anything is no good, John. Right?
Yeah.
That's the old. That's the standard saying.
what's going on with Jack Owak and Bang, John? Do you know anything?
Right here, baby.
I
Right
don't know
here.
what it
Root
is.
beer bang. Right there. Look at that.
Yeah, I thought they're bankrupt. I'm surprised they're in the store still.
Well, when you declare bankruptcy, it's just to get rid of debt you owe.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, this shit's the best shit. Root beer bang. Right there.
He's got good flavors, that's for
He's
sure.
got amazing flavors.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
who else would have root beer? I can't stand fruity shit. These are root beer. Right here.
Remember before that? Didn't he do Redline?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I thought that was a better name than Bang, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That red line was sick.
No,
I loved it.
the original tagline was "banged up."
Dude,
Oh, was it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
For what,
If I
bang?
remember correctly.
Dude, that red line was amazing. You remember that shit, John?
I used to work there, Greg.
Oh, really?
No, I
Dave
remember. I
did a
remember
video-
you working
Dave
there.
did a video of me at VPX.
I remember you working there.
Oh, there's Mr. G. I can hear him again. Does he really not hear that? He's got, George, are you brain damaged? You don't. It's like you got a radio playing in the background there.
And he's sitting
Lower
there
the
smiling
volume.
too. He loves it.
I know it's like he likes it.
He likes it. He smiles about it.
It's like mission
The
accomplished.
best was when he was starting the car in the garage. That was the best.
Oh
man.
yeah. Once
Dave, I can hear that. We had the show on YouTube on my assistant had it on his phone, so that's what you were hearing.
But you're irritating everyone who was watching the
I
show.
didn't realize I didn't realize the headset was picking it up. So
I've been telling you the whole show. You just
my
don't listen.
technician fixed it.
I mean,
Hey, I'll tell you what. Those ice baths, look what they're doing to my arms. I swear to God, look how big they're getting. Dave, I'm getting scared. I'm not taking anything. Look
I
at that.
tell you one thing though, Mr. G seems harmless. Seems like a really nice guy.
No, he's
He's a
awesome.
good guy.
George is one of the best people I know. I gotta
Yeah,
say.
you could tell.
All right.
Totally.
What do you think the rankings of the energy drinks are? Do you guys know? Number one energy drink.
Monster.
Red Bull.
Monster.
Nope. Monster. He's right.
Wow.
Bang.
Number two.
Red Bull.
Yep.
Bang.
Red Bull. Number three.
Rockstar.
Never guessed. Zip
Oh, wait a minute.
Fizz.
Red Bull doesn't.
What?
Which
What?
one? What?
You
Zip
think that
Fizz.
Red Bull makes you fly more than Bang? There's 300 milligrams of
Dude,
caffeine.
what's
in
this
Bang.
zip bullshit? I never heard.
I
of
don't.
it.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
You know what's amazing about Red Bull? It's that if you watch any kind of competitive event that has to do with anything with a motor on it, or a parachute, or
The
a
soccer
rocket,
team in New Jersey was called the Red Bulls.
or almost anything, Red Bull is on it. I watched this video. This guy jumped from outer space with a parachute. He was up in his freaking balloon.
Oh my God! Here we
Hey,
go.
20
Dave, are
miles
those
up the
statistics
sky.
Here we go.
statistics
And
America
he
or
jumps out,
worldwide?
and he's got Red Bull
He
written on
wasn't.
his
He wasn't in
shirt.
outer space,
I don't know.
John.
That's a good question.
He was almost in outer space.
He
There's
was
no
in
idea.
it.
They had to take
He was
the
at
wings.
the
They got
firmament,
sued.
as Jimmy would say. He's at the firmament.
They got
Yeah, he
sued
was
for the
firm.
wings. You heard that, right, John? They got.
What?
They had to take the wings off of.
Oh, really?
They couldn't say take Red Bull and you fly. You get wings.
Red
Remember
Bull
that
gives
saying?
you wings.
Yeah,
Right.
Red Bull
you
gives
live
wings.
vicariously.
No,
through
because
the
people
drink.
were jumping off fucking buildings and shit. They had to stop.
Oh, that-
You know what?
Jimmy,
If
there's
you
this
jump off
sperm
a- hold on.
evolution.
If
There's
you
this
drink
sperm-
at Red Bull and jump off a building, you deserve to die. I'm
Right.
sorry.
But that's they had to take. They couldn't
There's
say
a
it no
term-
more. They had to
natural
stop.
There's a term in evolution called natural selection.
That's right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you saying? You insulting me, John?
No, I'm saying whoever drinks a Red Bull and jumps off a building thinking they're going to fly deserves the impact.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I wanna know what
advertisement said
There-
if you
there
drink
was a-
it, you get wings. So people, that's what people do.
No, yeah,
And they
but
deserve
we're
what
just-
they get.
Yeah, but that's just as idiotic as thinking that Liver King got his body by eating balls or whatever it is that so like it's It's
So
just
you can't say balls.
Getting
You can't say
muscle
balls, but you
eating
got to say
balls
nuts.
sounds more
Okay.
reasonable than jumping off a
Testicles.
building after drinking a Red Bull.
Exactly.
Nuts. You got to say
Tell you
nuts.
something.
Nuts,
If
okay,
eating
okay.
testicles got you jacked, my girlfriend would be like a bodybuilder. Balls all the time.
All right, getting back to the energy juice. So Zip Fizz is something you pour into water. It's like a powder.
But Dave, is that worldwide or in America? Because maybe in India they're drinking that shit.
I don't think so. 5 hour energy, 4 hour energy, or 5 hour energy is the number 4 drink.
5 hour. Yeah.
Bang, peach mango energy drink is number 5.
Bang. Right
Did you
there.
try peach mango, Greg?
No, I don't like fruity shit. I like stuff like this, and the champagne one I like too.
Starbucks double shot energy drink coffee is
Doesn't
6.
work.
Red Line. Oh, so he's in the top 10.
Wait, where's Rockstar, Dave?
I don't. We didn't get to that yet. Red Line is 7. Rockstar's 8.
Wow, I would thought that would be higher up.
So Jack has 2 energy drinks in the top 10. That's pretty impressive, don't you think?
It's why he's a billionaire.
Yeah. I still think he's crazy for not selling the company to Pepsi for like 3.5 billion.
The deal went
No. He gave them the distribution right. And then
Yeah.
no, he could have. They wanted to buy Bang for 3.5 billion or something like that, and he said no.
That's a lot of money for a bag.
Because he wanted 7 billion. Because the difference between 3 and 7 is going to change his life.
That's a
It
lot
was
of
the
money.
principle, John. It was the principle.
Exactly.
Hey, Jimmy, would you have sold Red Bull? Would you have sold Bang for 3.5 billion, or would you have held out for more?
I would have sold it immediately.
What would you do with
I'd sell my
3.5
ass
billion?
for less than that.
Huh?
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
what would you
I'd
do with
sell my own ass
3.5
for less
billion?
than that.
Why,
I need the money. I'd sell my ass for less than that.
Hold on, Greg.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask Greg. Greg, what would you do with 3.5 billion?
Oh, I mean, I take care of my children and everybody like
All
that.
right, yeah, that's easy. What else would you do with it? What would you
I don't
buy?
know. You know what it is? I'm so used to being broke. I wouldn't spend any of it. I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid.
That's why you'll never have money.
That's what I was going to say.
His first venture would be a line of enemas endorsed by Greg.
That would be a great idea.
Actually, Richard knows how to spend money. What would you do with the 3.5 billion?
Well, right now that I don't have remotely close to that kind of fucking money, it's like first call the IRS and settle for the amount of money that I fucking owe them.
How much you own?
I owe them like about 2.3
I
mil.
didn't know they're following you, Richard, for the money.
No. I got a 3-year write-off. You could basically talk to them and negotiate and
Really?
have them off your fucking back for like 3 years.
So they're
3
not
years is the
garnishing
max.
your wages right now.
No, they're not doing that. And my intentions is like obviously like a year and a half in or something like that, possibly go in there.
That's a lot of
negotiate
money,
for
though,
less.
the government.
Well, the thing about it is that's cumulative because I went in only owing about 100 and something, but with penalties and all that, that's just to show everyone how much IRS are a bunch of fucking robbers. I go into prison owing about $140,000 to $150,000 in taxes. Right? I come out owing millions. That's just penalties over the span of 5 years.
Richard, you know what the mess part about?
How do they expect you to pay if you're in prison?
You're not gonna fucking pay it.
That's right.
No, but Dave, listen, I remember when I was looking at Richard's case, he had merchant accounts, right, in the system that had millions of dollars in it.
Right.
And the government didn't even take that money. The merchant accounts just took the money from him. He can't even get it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
He had millions in merchant accounts. I saw the numbers in front of my own eyes.
That sucks.
Richard, have you tried to get that back, or it's impossible?
Fucking impossible, dude, because it's like they want all this documentations. They want me to reinstate WFN as an LLC and all that shit. And it's like, and I talked to some of my lawyers, and they're like, stay the fuck away from it. Yeah, you know, especially
if someone can figure out a way to get Rich's money out of there, they're going to be very wealthy.
Well, yeah, but they'll also be part of a fucking pending indictment because you don't even know. Like, you see, my concern is this: that they could be possible entrapment. The last thing I want to do, you know, thank God things are going well. Like, you know, try to collect on one of them and be like, oh yeah, you're not going back to prison because you're collecting on illegal gains, because that's the way in which they're going to portray it. They're going to say it's like that's ill-gotten gain. So why are you trying to acquire?
So Richard, what happens if you die?
Well, if I die, it's like I should hope these fucking franchises take the fuck off, and it'd be a good revenue.
Usually the rule of thumb is when you die, that gets all past the next of kin.
Of course, if he's
So the
married.
next-
No.
So
Does it?
the next of kin
Yes.
is since my wife divorced me is my mom. She's just as fuck then.
I don't think
it
they
gets
pass
passed
the
on to your
debt.
son too.
I don't think your debt passes to the next of kin.
Yes, it does.
does.
No, it
does,
doesn't.
yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
No,
it
it doesn't.
does. Yes,
No,
it
it
does.
doesn't.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
it
Listen,
does.
my mother passed away, Dave. She owed taxes. Not a lot. She owed taxes.
You're an idiot for paying them.
They came after me and my brother for that money.
You should have said told them to go
Really?
after
I did. I
It's
called them up. I
actually
said
inherited.
I said my mother's deceased. How could you come in? How could you come after us? It was her taxes. Not that was saying anything bad about
Well,
mom.
unless
it
she
was
still had
she
the
owed the
money in her
money.
name.
Huh?
Did her money still exist in a bank account, or was it in your money? Was it already in your account?
No,
Did you
it
get
was,
an
it was,
inheritance?
it was
Yeah.
an estate. Yeah, it was
Well,
an
yeah,
estate.
that's why they wanted to take
That's
it out
why.
of there.
That's the
Oh, Dave,
inheritance.
I spoke
You
to
should have had
Jerry
her
Ward
sign all the
straight.
money
When
over
Jerry
to you
Ward
first.
died, I spoke to Erin, and she said, anything that was under his business, if her name wasn't on it, she's not responsible. But personal stuff, she was. So when you die, if you have anything in joint, like if you have a business and it's in both people's names, you're responsible for it. But
Well, business, that's different.
Business.
We're not talking
business.
about.
No.
We're not talking about we're talking about personal money.
oh, personal money, I don't know. Yeah.
Like
So
let's
when
say
you
you have a
say-
grandmother.
in other
and your
words, you had a-
grandmother had
we
credit
had a-
card debt. And
We had an
you-
estate. That's why, Dave.
If
Yeah,
they
because
can take it out of the
They
estate, they'll
took
take
it out of your
the
mother's estate before you
Right.
got the money. That's probably why,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
They'll sue the estate.
That's why if you have a parent that's got dementia or is terminal, you should somehow have them add you to their bank account and then withdraw the money and put it in your own account. This way, if they do pass, you don't have to worry about trying to get money transferred and all that other crap. Ah, look at a little pooch.
Say hi, guys. Say hi, Reese. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
They always say, that the owner looks like the dog that they keep.
Yeah, I was going to say. I didn't want to say anything, but I did see
Well,
a resemblance.
Well, his
There's no
ears are like
resemblance.
hair.
Reese,
right?
give me a kiss.
So his-
You ever see Tyler, who works for me? His little dog looks just like him.
There's no
I got two
resemblance.
of these.
So, John, does that dog bite everybody but you?
No, he's super nice. Oh, Richard's
Is
got
it-
one over there. too.
Richard looks just like the dog too. Look at that. With
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oh, God. If I had a dog, I'd show it, but I don't have a dog.
And then I got look. Wait,
You need a pet, Jimmy, I think.
Hey,
Jimmy,
You're
we have
right.
2
You're
places for you to
absolutely
live.
right,
We have
Dave.
you want to see
3
my
places for Jimmy to live down here. 3 now.
He looks just
Wait.
like you. Who's that, Steve Carroll?
Look,
That's one of the.
Hey guys, this is the Taco Bell one. Tell me this doesn't look like Taco Bell.
Looks like
That's
Gilbert
John
Gottfried.
Romano.
Yeah.
This is the Taco
Oh,
Bell
yeah.
one. Look at him. Look at him.
Greg looks better.
Greg, where the hell did you get that thing?
Under
that's
the
Curly
table.
from the Three Stooges.
Yeah, Three Stooges. Yeah.
I put a little
Oh,
thing.
yeah, you put
Hey.
a tea on him.
Sid, if you're watching still, that's your fucking slide for the show. Excuse my language.
Oh. Eh.
My God.
Look at.
That's nice, Greg.
You know who that looks like? That looks like Joe Son. Remember that MMA guy who
Yeah.
who
No,
went
but
to
that's
prison
Curly
for?
from the Three.
Yeah, it looks like him.
Hey, Armand, are you in pink today for breast cancer awareness? Although you
Yeah.
weren't, you wearing a pink sweatshirt just a little while
Yeah,
ago?
it was getting pretty hot, so I took it off.
Oh.
This hat
Is that-
pink though.
Is that
thought
breast
was-
cancer awareness,
I
fellas?
thought that was a breast when he had his head down, the little nipple on top.
That I had a
You are
sweatshirt on.
dry, Jimmy.
I think, Armand, you got to get a headset or something like that because you're not hearing us. I think that's the problem.
Today has been weird. Next time, the last time I told we're fine. I think I need to get some earbuds or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
get some earbuds because you're having trouble hearing us. I can tell.
Today was just like I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. But didn't you do a lot of things for breast cancer awareness when your mom passed?
Yeah, I did Chad's show, and then I made out. I was selling these shirts already of mine that a lot of people would buy, so I did the same way, and I said, I forgot what it said on the back, something about and all those. Margaret, we don't have any of those shirts down there. No, we have one. So I was selling those just around locally to people, and then I was going to just donate that to a place locally that you could trust with the money.
Right.
That was about it. So
Right. When did your mom pass? What year was that?
14.
That's right. Yeah, people don't realize breast cancer is brutal. A couple family members that passed from that.
Yeah.
And, that's why mammograms, I always talk about all the tests that men should get, for colon and for your heart, but, women should get mammograms, regularly. And a lot of women bodybuilders don't do it, or people with breast implants, because they think they don't have to, but you still got to get a mammogram. It's such an easy, if you catch breast cancer early, it's very curable. If you don't, I know, Greg, Mariana Comlos, she died of breast cancer.
Mariana Comlos, yep.
Yeah. And she was beautiful, man. Oh.
Candy Casentis, a lot of them did.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold that up again, Armand. 1 second.
This is like the back. This is the old shirt, though. This is the old shirt.
Hold on. Why
Nice.
can't I find you? I'm looking. Oh, there you are. Hold on. Hold it up again. Hold it up again. There, yeah. I actually still have that in my closet. That's good logo, actually.
Yeah, this one's really old, though. But yeah, this one's old. We still have, but yeah, these were what we sold. People liked them, and we sold a bunch of them, and then donated the money to the. I had to ask my wife what the place was called.
Yeah,
the same city we're in. But you you could trust them with your money to get it over to them.
Right. Isn't it funny how now that COVID's around, no one talks about cancer anymore? It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I did a big video that'll be coming out, I think, either today or tomorrow about the health of your kidneys, heart, brain, and blood pressure meds for bodybuilders. I think a lot of bodybuilders, we all take knee-jerk aromatase inhibitors, right, when we take steroids so we don't convert estrogen. But no one thinks about, hey, why not just take a knee-jerk blood pressure med so that you don't have high blood pressure, protect the kidneys. And if more people thought that way, I think there would be a lot less issues, because there are a lot of bodybuilders who have kidney issues. And I really, really believe if these guys were on blood pressure meds right from the get-go, they probably never would have had any kidney issues. It's not the steroids. Steroids are not toxic.
Do it.
Derek Anthony said the same thing, Dave.
Won't give it to me.
It's the blood pressure, yeah.
It's the blood pressure. It has nothing to do with the steroids. Steroids are toxic to the liver, not to the kidney.
No, but I'm saying I'm borderline with blood pressure. I'm okay, but I'm right there.
So you know what? You're better off taking it. There's no side effects of an ACE inhibitor.
Get it? My doctor won't fucking prescribe it.
Why?
He's a Momo.
Well, go to a different one.
I want it. What's the best one to take? What's the one that you take? You told me.
I take Ramipril, but lisinopril is like the kind of the generic version of that. They're both really, really safe.
I take rovastatin. I take for cholesterol.
What is your blood pressure? Does anyone here even test their blood pressure on a regular basis?
120 over 80, mine. 120 over 75, something like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Yeah. They say now 115 over 75 is better, but for bodybuilders, we're going to always have slightly higher blood
Dave,
pressure.
I remember Derek Anthony, he said not watching his blood pressure was his downfall all those years, because that's what ended up happening to him.
Plus, he would blow a gasket at the drop of a dime. John Romano can tell you that. Where's John? He's
right here.
Oh.
He's saying not taking those meds and watching his blood pressure is what was his downfall.
Dude, not for nothing.
Blowing a gasket on line is what was his down.
Listen, not for nothing. My brother-in-law blows a gasket all the time. He's got bad temper, and he just had a stroke because of it. And they told him, and he's actually going blind because of the stroke he had. He lost his eyesight and everything, and all because he's got a bad temper.
I better calm down.
Jimmy, how's your blood pressure doing now?
How's 135 over 85, Dave?
A little high. I'd call that high. I'd call that borderline. You should be on probably take some blood pressure medication.
Jimmy, that's exactly what I am. Exactly.
You should definitely take. That's borderline.
But when I go to the doctor it's like 160 over fucking 90. I don't know. I guess it's
that's not good.
Imagine what it is when he's driving a truck.
No, wait, guys. Remember when he did it on the show? He did it on the show. He had to leave.
They call that white coat syndrome, right? When you go to the doctor, your blood pressure is a little
right. But if you're checking it at home and it's still a little high, you probably should be on something.
No, when I check at home, I'm like it's like 132 over 80 or something.
What
like
is
that.
it when the wheel falls off the dump truck?
Forget about it, man.
Jimmy, that time you did it on the show was like 200. Remember that?
Jimmy, no, that one time I went in for surgery and they had all that shit on me. I was getting a little thing removed out of my neck. And I think I told you this already. And they had it was like the air condition went down in the VA that day, of course. So I was in the operating room, you know, they had the blanket over me, and they had like this tray that they put over me, you know, and had all the tools on it, and they had this big piece of cloth taped to my face and all this shit. I started losing it in the OR room, and plus the air condition was out. So my blood pressure went through the roof, and the nurse was like, "Oh my God!" She said, "Look at his blood pressure."
Weren't you awake? Weren't you asleep at that point?
No, they just injected my neck up, and she kept injecting my neck, and then every time she cut me, you know, she goes, "Do you feel the knife?" I go, "Yeah, I feel it." And then she injected me more, you know, and then you know, and then she cut me again with the knife. She goes, "Do you feel the knife?" I says, "Yeah, it feels." She kept like she did it like 4 or 5 times. My whole fucking side of my head was numb. You know, it's just supposed to be I just supposed to be the neck. You know, and finally, you know, she goes, "I never had a patient like you." She says, "I use this knife on everybody." I said, "You use that knife on everybody?" She says, "No, that's not what I mean. You know what I mean?" I said, "No, you're done. You told me you use that knife." No, she goes, like this knife. She said. Anyway, I made him take all the stuff off me. I even had my boots on, bro. I didn't want to take my boots off.
John, he's such a difficult patient, isn't he?
Oh, I'm
Can
bad.
you imagine attending to him in a hospital setting?
I didn't want to take that. The guy says, "Well, you got to put the gown." I said, I don't want no gown. I want my jeans.
Wait till
on,
he's 80, John. Wait till he's 80.
Shoot him full of Thorazine and just leave him all in the bed.
I said, if I die in here, I'm dying with my boots on. I ain't taking my boots off. I ain't putting that gown on, nothing.
That a boy, Jimmy.
You're such a
That's
hypochondriac, too, because you know what? You were probably getting a little mole removed from your neck, if I know you.
No, what I had was I had a hole in my skin, like I don't know, and then it filled up with like it turned into like a blackhead inside and then I tried squeezing it one day and it got infected and it blew up on my neck and it wouldn't go down. I mean, they had me on antibiotics now. I was squeezing it. I can't reach now, but I was squeezing it and everything.
Can't reach his neck,
all this,
John.
no, I can't now. Back
neck.
then I was able to. This is going back before I got even more rigor mortis. But anyway, so it got so bad. I went to the doctor and they were like, "Listen, we got to cut it out, but we got to give you an antibiotic. We can't do any kind of surgery until we get the infection down." So I was on it for like I don't know how many days, and then I finally went to and the day I go, I went and I says, "Why is it so hot in here?" She says, "The air conditioner broke today." I says, "Oh my God, only me."
Hold on, let me just put this into perspective. You went to the VA, to get a pimple pop. Essentially,
pimple popper.
And the air conditioning was out at the VA, and they had 40 blankets on top of you, and you wouldn't take your boots off.
No.
For the major surgery, you had to pop the pimple.
No, they had to cut it. It was
and you wouldn't let him finish. And you wouldn't let him finish cutting the pimple open, right?
No, she kept cutting me and asked me,
I'm just putting it in perspective. This wasn't open heart surgery you having,
Yeah, I was getting very upset. I was like, how long is this going to take? It was like a little ball in my neck. I mean, it's like 45 minutes. You're cutting the shit out of this thing. And she goes, "It's a little bigger. It went a little deeper than I thought." She said she was just cutting. I was, it was a nightmare.
You should have asked for propofol, Jimmy, while you're at it. That would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, Michael worked great for Michael Jackson.
Yeah. No, Jimmy should always be given propofol. Every time he arrives at the VA, they should just give him a shot, knock him out, and then just take care of the problem.
I am the worst when it comes to being sick or going to. I am the worst.
And Dave, you know what? You should invite Singerman on the show next week. Maybe he'll come on and talk about it.
He'll never come on.
You don't think he'll come on?
No. If he's got sealed documents, you think he's going to let you interrogate him about the sealed documents? Why don't you do a video on unsealing the documents?
If I can unseal them, then I'll do a video. Trust me on that one.
You could be like Geraldo Rivera going into Al Capone's vault there and then opening up the vault.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this up, guys. Thanks for joining us live today for another installment of Iron Rage. And Mr. G, I'm pretty impressed. I got to tell you with the ice bath. Although your microphone stinks, the ice bath was pretty impressive.
I preferred coming from
Dave, I want to say something about that. If people don't have the ice bath, they can go in an ice cold shower. I've been doing that for a while now.
It does make you feel better.
But not only that, I'm getting bigger, and I'm not taking any testosterone or anything. Nor am I really the weight training I'm actually doing is pull-ups and dips. and stuff like that. So point being is I'm like at 230 now.
Shock proteins, John. Shock proteins. It's all about the shock.
What's happening is intramuscular fat is growing, and making his muscles.
Don't forget, George, you were swimming underwater with the dumbbells.
Cold, you know?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. So one of the workouts I've been posting my workouts up on my Instagram account. One of the workouts I do is with 2 20-pound dumbbells. I run underwater with them with my hands. So imagine doing like a push-up but moving forward.
Right.
I do that probably for about 100 feet, back and forth. Come up, take a breath of air, go back down.
What made you come up with that idea, George? I'm just curious. How did did you drop a dumbbell in the pool and then dive in to get it, and then you said like, "Wow, this is good shit," and then you just like, how did you?
It started from my.
Oh, there you are.
No, go to my Instagram. Well, the new one, Dave.
Oh, the new one?
No, you can show that. Yeah.
I'll show the new one. What's the new one?
Yeah, but you don't show the dumbbells in the water. George.
You're not even doing anything in this new one.
I'm telling them what I'm going to do, but now I have my assistant. He's going to be able to film me doing it.
What's this one in the dark here? You look like the Grim Reaper.
He's in his sex club.
Where do you advertise the ad for assistant?
That's one of the neighbors, John.
Notice he's the assistant. He's not his friend. He's the assistant.
Well,
here he goes. Hold on. Here he goes. What are you doing now?
I'm running underwater on my tiptoes.
Trying to commit suicide.
Hold on, George. Is that your pool? You have your own pool?
That's my that's my client's pool. Oh. I have that pool. I have the pool where I live, where nobody goes in. Olympic sized pool that I train in.
What was the water temperature on this? It had to be cold in here.
It was 70. He's got a heater on. It's 80.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dude, where do I get a client like that?
Wait, I thought we ended the show like 20 minutes ago.
We're trying to. It's just very hard to end the show with these guys. Yeah.
No, but
George, you never answered me, George. What made you come up with that idea?
Because my stunt friend that is one of the top stunt doubles when I did Noah. He was here. We were doing Navy SEAL workouts. We had 30-pound chains around our neck, and we would and he showed me a workout that you run into the ocean, run the water, and then go into the deep section, and then go underwater, come back up and back down. That's called a Flintstone, a drowning technique. Then we would take the the chains. We had them attached to a lifeguard torpedo. Then we would take the chains and run 100 yards on the beach in the sand.
All right.
What?
You're losing everyone. Too much information you give me.
All right, gotcha. Anyways, my stunt buddy that showed me how to do that stuff, and we started training like that. And then Lord Hamilton is a big wave surfer. I saw some of his workouts that he was doing, so I incorporated some of that. And then what I do is I try to make my own stuff. As more crazy as I can make it harder.
I have one more question before we go. When you were in your living room,
asking questions.
I got one more. I just said, George, very interesting. So when you had the surfboard on 2 chairs in your living room and you were paddling like this, how did you invent that? I'm very curious.
What I did is I hooked it up to the machine, to the weight training machine. So this way, I figured because I got to practice paddling.
John Romano.
All stuff is to practice when I'm surfing and get held down a really long time, that I'm able to survive.
I got
that's why, but it's also good stuff for anybody just to train. Different stuff, fun stuff.
Yeah, bring the family, bring the kids.
I'll leave you with this. What are you dressed as? A Ninja Turtle there?
A dragon. I was telling.
Look at his ass.
Wait,
it looks like Robin Hood.
The metaphor is slay the dragons. Every day, wake up, slay the dragons, face the dragon head on. You know,
Dave,
face the
Mr. G,
dragon.
do you dress like that when you're doing some stuff for your wife?
Oh,
at night?
when he goes to
Jeez.
Publix, when he's shopping at Publix, Johnny.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, tell me about when I shop. What happened when I shop?
But shouldn't you
I
be
was
dressed
skipping,
as?
right? Jimmy was
Wait a
freaking
minute.
out.
Wait a minute.
Jimmy, what did I do when we shop
Wait
my
a
car?
minute. Wait a second. This is important. If you're dressed up like someone to slay the dragons, why you should be dressed as Beowulf, not the dragon. Put the wrong costume on.
Well, he plays both parts, John.
If you're gonna slay the dragon, you can't be the dragon. You'll be dead.
He's got Beowulf. I saw it up in his closet. He's
You gotta
hanging in
be
his
Beowulf.
closet.
You can't be the dragon.
When
Mr.
Jimmy
G, what's
came
your
here-
wife's favorite outfit that you have to
We
wear?
went to. I told Jimmy I train everywhere I go. So we went to Walmart and he goes, "Why are you parking so far away? Park up there." I go, "Because why am I going to park there? I train when I come here." So I
Well, I thought that was a little weird because when we went to Walmart, there was spaces up front, and you parked all the way up by the street. I didn't feel like walking a half a mile to the fucking to Walmart. So I mean, like, I didn't understand the logic behind that.
That was part of the train. Remember, I was running on the curb.
I didn't know we were in training. I thought we were just you parked too far.
I train everywhere I go.
Hold on,
Oh.
John. True story. Back in about 2007, when we were with Muscular Development, and you remember I would cover all the shows with Bill Comstock. He was our photographer at the time,
Right.
and he met Mr. G for the first time. Like he didn't know who he was or what he was about. He's like, he reminds you of your crazy uncle at a Christmas party who walks around with the lampshade on his head. I said, you just don't know him, Bill. And then Bill actually liked him after he got to know him.
Hey, Dave.
No, he's that guy that Chevy Chase, when the brother-in-law came to his house with the mobile home.
Randy Newman, yeah.
Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid, not Randy Newman.
Randy Quaid, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Randy Quaid, yeah, right.
Hey, the whole
George.
point is just be
When he comes
yourself.
to visit you.
Don't be afraid to be yourself.
Nah, we love you, George. You know that.
I got to wrap this up.
Wait, Jimmy, tell me when I was skipping in the Walmart. I was skipping in Walmart. He was freaking out. He goes, "That's it, I'm going."
I was hard. Are you kidding me? The whole store was looking at you. I was like, I'm not with this guy. I went over by the clothes. I had to go hide.
I was skipping, because I was doing.
I know you were skipping. I was there. I was watching you. And so was everybody else in the store. I'm like, oh my God, he's skipping this guy. And he was singing a tune. I don't know what he was singing. I was like, I got to get away from him, man.
Check, Johnny Bravo, you got a new video out about Phil Baroni, right?
Oh yeah. There's a new one because I talked to John A. You know, John A. was the ex-Gotti guy,
right?
And Phil lived with him when he was a kid. I spoke to John A. And he said he spoke to.
Oops, hold on.
And
sorry.
He said that on the phone to John, he said he didn't kill the girl. And John A. told me, he goes, John, listen, I know Phil. He beat the shit out of a lot of people on the streets, right? But he's not a killer. And that's what he said to me. And I'm going to say to you, I mean, obviously we don't have all the details of the case of, we know what happened, what was written in the papers. But Dave, you said you spoke to somebody and they said there's more things coming out. And that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, one of my friends.
Yeah, explain that. I don't think people know about that.
Well, one of my friends said, that he heard that there's some more evidence that might get Phil off, that Phil might not have done what we think he did. I hope that's the truth because I really like Phil, but I don't know if that's true or not, but you're telling me John Alight thinks the same thing. And so,
yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I guess we're going to find out.
Dave, I got to tell you one more thing, Dave. So when George, he had to take me to go drop off this pickup truck. It was about a good 45 minutes away from his house. It was like 2 in the morning. I had to catch a plane. I was exhausted. I'm in his car. And he's playing Alvin and the Chipmunks all the way back to the airport. I'm like, what are we listening to here? I was like, but I didn't want to disturb George because he was, he was driving very fast and he was concentrating, and he had the Chipmunks playing. I was like, oh my God! I said, only George.
I took you to the wrong terminal too, right?
Yeah, you dropped me, and then he dropped you off at the wrong terminal. I was on the other side. He left me here. I was on the other side of the airport. I had to walk 2 miles to get over to the airline. Oh my God!
All right. That's it. We're out of here. I think Armand left us already, but Greg, I love you, man. Love you guys. Richard, love you, man.
Love you
Take
guys.
care,
Have a great
brother.
week,
Hey, guys.
guys. And thanks for joining us live. We'll be back again next week for another edition of Iron Rage.